Beep, 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 beep. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh, so how was the wedding? You said the wedding was good.
Yeah, wedding was good. Very, very cold
You look
outside.
nice in your outfit, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. I did not do my hair or my makeup. I had somebody do it for me.
Okay, shout out.
I don't know how to properly do that. I'm barely able to do the things I can do with makeup and hair. But no, it was fun. I mean, I've known her since 5th grade, so that was kind of cool to see her get married.
Mm-hmm.
All of us were
I
crying.
like that shirt, Justin.
Yeah.
I really
Thanks,
like
man.
that shirt.
FYE.
Oh,
Yeah. They had a buy one get one. So I got this and I got the Poltergeist one too.
Sorry, Katie, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I saw
Oh,
it and I was like, I like that shirt.
I like that shirt.
Since I said I was going to say it, I wanted to go live to say it. You know what really grinds my gears? What's got me pissed off for greatness? What really? I just got done watching Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right off the bat, they're like telling the story of like how we got to where we're at before like the movie starts, and they're like, and then they took a vow of silence and they don't talk anymore because like the whole time, as I was gearing up for this movie, my thing was like, I wanted to hear this big bear man pig thing talking like Winnie the Pooh as he's murdering people, like, oh boy, you know, like doing the Winnie the Pooh voice.
Not the voice.
Oh, father. As he's about to fuck somebody up, like
Whole mood.
How much of the Winnie the Pooh like realm did they put in the movie?
all of it.
A lot? Really? Okay.
Yeah, like the character names, Christopher Robin, 100 Acre Woods, it's all there.
Dude.
Now you only get 2 Winnie the Pooh characters. They mention them in the opening, but you only see 2. You only see Pooh and Piglet.
Okay.
No spoilers. One of them didn't make it to the movie, but they cover that in the lead up to how we got there.
Donkey. It's Donkey.
You mean Eeyore?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm getting
Right,
fantasies.
Shrek.
I'm getting fantasies mixed up. Donkey.
And I mean, I told Katie like there was one topless scene that was kind of weird and came out of nowhere. What's up? Hi, Tommy. Oh, and from Jaxpo. Look at that.
Jaxpo.
There were titties. It's just like I wasn't expecting the titties when the titties showed up. Like it was a really weird thing to have happen. And then when I did expect titties, they didn't give me titties. But I think the biggest disappointment was the fact that Winnie the Pooh had pants because like
when did he ever? Right.
I was expecting him to Pooh Bear the fuck out of this movie. Like I didn't get the voice and I didn't get like just the belly shirt.
The crop top.
You didn't get the crop top?
Yeah. No.
I'm not watching this movie.
You need to watch this movie, Katie. You do.
No.
There's also
listen, it is an experience.
There's also a horror movie called Thanksgiving. Did you see that?
I saw the trailer for it.
Yeah. Reek is in the building, y'all.
Did I have TC call and wake you up?
No. I just checked the time and I was like, shit.
Because you look like you just woke up.
You look a little sleepy.
Nah, I was close to the edge.
Oh, I know what you mean.
I was just talking about Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
So, what's the deal with that? Was because I know when I asked TC, he was like, "You can't take it serious." So I'm just like,
"No, no, do not." So listen, I saw it was on Peacock, and I told Kate, I was like, "Hey, I want to watch this. Do you want to watch it?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't know. Let me think about it." Blah blah blah. Listen, Tommy, you need to chill. All right, you need to chill. We haven't even started the show yet. And I'm talking Halloween, so I need to be here for this. Like I can't. He can't come in here with that shit.
No.
Don't say he's not allowed, because I will put in the call.
Anyway, so I told Kate, I was like, "Hey, do you want to watch this?" And I sent her the trailer, and I kind of reminded her what it was, and she's like, "Yeah, that looks really bad. Like, can you wait and we'll watch it together?" But then, like, I have a whole list of horror movies that I want to knock out that I didn't get to see this year. And one of them on the list that's available now is also The Blackening. So I was like, do you want to watch The Blackening or do you want to watch Winnie the Pooh? And she's like, I already prepared myself for Winnie the Pooh. Let's watch Winnie the Pooh. When we finished Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, I looked at her and I'm like, I told you we could have watched The Blackening. You said you wanted to watch this movie, so this is on you.
Oh, it's terrible.
I would have watched this a couple days ago by myself and just enjoyed the shit out of it for how terrible it is.
It happens.
I'm not watching it.
No, you need to watch it. Like, it's an experience.
I'm not watching it. No.
It's kind of like Terrifier. Like, it's one of those things that, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's good. People probably loved it. I know there are a lot of people out there that love Art the Clown, love Terrifier 2, all that. I didn't really, like, outside of the girl in Terrifier 2 and her Halloween costume, I didn't really fuck with the movie. Like, it was what it was. I don't get the hype behind it. But, like, there are people out there that love it, and I'm cool with that. Like, we don't yuck any yums. I'm not knocking anybody. There are people out there that like it. It follows. I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't said that those people have bad taste, because I have. But, you know, to each your own. Like, what you like is what you like, and don't let me shame you for it. But, like, it's one of those things that it's just one of those things that you got to watch just to say I watched it. Like, that's where I was on it.
That's fair enough. Could live with that.
I mean, it's always, you know, horror is subjective. You know what I'm saying? So
it is.
So that could be a fun time.
So is wrestling. So is porn.
Yes. So is right.
So is wrestling porn.
So is,
which I tried to book last night.
Oh my dude. Dude, it's like straight up exactly what it says. When I looked at it, I was like, okay. It was like, damn, okay.
Oh, I see. I need to make a gear change. 1 second.
I mean, I was kind of hoping Katie had a Halloween shirt.
That I was gonna say, you're wearing Ghostface.
Okay, fine. Give me a second.
Nice.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it right. Damn it! Me and Juss,
That's right.
we understood the assignment, ladies.
Come on. Of course. I when I saw that and I knew that we were doing this beforehand, I'm like, I'm gonna get that. That's a nice one too. What mask is that on your shirt? Is that the OG or is that the?
I think it is because it's Lori in the Night.
Okay, yeah. That's almost like a rat key.
Yeah, that's why I got it.
I figured.
Dude, I used to have this badass Chucky zip-up hoodie where it was like thugged out Chucky. Like the whole thing like sparkled and he had like a backwards hat on and a grill and a chain and shit. It was one of my favorite hoodies and I have no idea where the fuck that hoodie went. I cannot find it anywhere else.
I have to say, like, in terms of like merchandise, like Chucky and Halloween are like the best when it comes to like all the stuff that they have done: shirts, sweaters, flannels, like jerseys and stuff like that. And like what you're saying, like thugged out stuff, like they done stuff like that for Michael Myers. Like they can't really do that with a lot of the other ones.
Hello, Will.
Hello.
Tommy's here and he was just asking where Allison is.
Oh, Reese got a nice one too.
She's nice. Yeah, this was off of whatchamacallit, Fright Rags.
Okay.
They started doing that. They make one of these for basically every movie, and it's like in this style. So when I bought this when the reboot came out back in 2018 or the sequel or whatever.
Okay.
So just I also have an FYE Halloween shirt, and it's like it's a Michael Myers shirt, but it's like the Japanese print,
Yeah, I
like,
saw that. I saw that too.
The problem is I had lost weight and I was fitting into shirts I hadn't fit in a while, so I bought a shirt a size smaller than I normally do, and it was a little too. It's still just a little too tight. I need to slim down a little bit more, squeeze into that thing.
Like, have you tried doing the where you stretch out the bottom?
My problem is always in the arms and in the shoulder chest area.
Okay. Yeah, you can stretch out the shirt too. Just go like this and just go like that.
Yeah.
Even though like I buy shirts that fit my like I normally buy a large or XL or sometimes a double XL depending on the fit, but I always stretch out the bottom. Just I like that loose fit.
Well, now that we're all dressed for the
Nice.
occasion,
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we can run that intro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
In 3, 2. Hello and welcome to your number one horror podcast on Pornhub. Getting off. I am your host, the patron saint of podcasting, the word Matt Ritter, and the core four is back together again, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing first the goddess of the gangland, the queen of cash rules everything around me.
This is outrageous.
Kinder Queen.
Host, the Kinder Queen.
I just started off the dome.
Bands to make her dance.
Hey, yo.
The host of the She Leads Showcase, Inside the Mind of, In the Crowd, and Story Time with the Rookie of the Year, the sun seen through the revolving door at the mall that shines brighter than any star in the sky, Miss Katie Kinsey Bay.
Hi. I can't.
Everyone's second favorite Filipino behind Shotzi Blackheart, but has a special place in our heart. My boy from Chicago, host of the Get Yo podcast. It's your boy Juss, Lechon Diaries, and one fourth of Marks with Mics.
We can say 1/4.
Okay, depends on who you count as an actual Mark with a mic. It's your boy Juss.
That's right. Talking Halloween. Let's do this.
And back by popular demand, and only because he shows up for the episodes that he comes up with the ideas for now. He is 1/3 because Malik showed up this year, so he counts again, of Young Kings Wrestling. He is the only BBC with a PhD on this podcast, Dr. Reek Baker, BBC.
Show's outrageous.
Listen, just hope that they don't get the rack to come on, because after what he referred, like, he's got his bestie and his lover here tonight, so he'll be on one tonight. So
Oh no.
again, chat, we're here. So here's the deal. If you guys don't know why we're here, what fantasy booking Halloween is, we're not fantasy booking this year's Halloween and what we're going to do trick-or-treating. The rights, the TV and movie rights for Halloween are up for sale from the Akkad family. Blumhouse finished their trilogy. Now people are bidding for the rights so that they can start creating Halloween properties. So what we're going to do is talk about where we want to see the show go, who we want to see take over production-wise, what stories we might want to see them run with, and what we want to see them do. Fun shit like that. Like, what we're fantasy booking the future of the Halloween franchise. Again, Reek's idea. Which is why he's here.
I threw a little nugget out there. So yeah, popped us up.
But with that being said, as you guys know, if you're a fan of Getting Off, and obviously everyone here, but specifically me, I love the Halloween franchise. So I would like to have some fun as myself and talk about this and not have to sit backstage while some jackass comes and insults and flirts with and overtakes the show, and nothing that I've had on my mind for a week now to talk about gets talked about. So,
Damn, please. You shouldn't talk about the rack like that.
Listen,
No, the rack is a jackass.
he's in my head. He knows how I feel about him. He hears it constantly.
knows.
He's there. He knows. Now, Katie shouldn't be saying that because he tried to be her best friend and he's trying to be nice to her, but she keeps talking like that. He might not be.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we should not be slanderous to the rack.
You just can't do it on my own show when I'm trying to host.
Blame your chat. And he's not nearly as entertaining in a chat as he is on air. You can't hear the voice.
Can't
Oh
see
no!
the...
If I read it and I know it's the rack, I hear the voice.
All right, let's get into it. I know A24 is in the running. Somebody else was too, and I can't think of who it was. Amazon, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know if they reported who else is in the running, but I know that they just leaned into A24 as being the closest to get the deal done.
How do we feel about an A24 Halloween movie? Because I feel like we already got an A24 Halloween movie. It was called Halloween Ends.
Yeah, it's A24 and it's Miramax.
Miramax.
Oh, Miramax, gotcha.
Which Miramax, I mean, if you're a fan, so like they've redubbed the recent franchise H40. So you got, the OG timeline, the Curse timeline, you've got the Rob Zombie timeline, you've got the H20 timeline, and then you've got the H40 timeline. And if you're a fan, you know that Miramax is in the opening credit sequence of a lot of your favorite Halloween movies, or maybe not so favorite Halloween movies, depending on where you lie on some of those movies, like H2O.
Hey.
How are we feeling? Is there anywhere else you guys would like to see the rights go?
Well, if I could start, I'm all for A24. I mean, I think most of us like Midsummer when it came out. That was kind of like a crazy, wild horror movie, if you want to call it a horror movie. Yeah, Edgar. Yeah, right. And everything that they've done with Everywhere All at Once and all that stuff that they've done, they did that the animation movie that's coming out with the that has been Hotel or whatever that's coming out too. So everything that they've done is they can't lose. So I'm for it.
I mean, A24 is like, just in general, they hitting with some pretty crazy movies, like not just Midsummer. I think Hereditary was A24.
I think Hereditary,
and X and Pearl, and all those movies. Like, I mean, I'm not against it, but I'm also a person that I like certain shit to happen. So, the name that comes to mind for me is probably New Line. Just because there's possibilities in there if the right things line up.
Though, because New Line doesn't own. A24 has those rights now. A24 is doing that show.
Huh?
After the Victor Miller shit and him retaining the rights to the original movie, I believe the Friday the 13th TV show that is being produced and coming out, you correct me if I'm wrong, someone can fact check it, is through A24. So I believe Jason is over in the A24 camp right now.
We about to find
so
that
if
right
Jason's
now.
over there and we put Michael in there, we're one step closer to Matt Slasherverse.
We'll talk about that.
Real quick. Shout out Broadcast. What's going on, homie? Yes, Crystal Lake, the series for Jason Friday the 13th, or not Jason, is on A24, and it might premiere next year. So,
okay, then I'm retracting that. We're gonna go A24.
But that's still kind of new. It wasn't really confirmed when it first happened. I think they were still trying to weigh out the negotiation, but
it's been out for a little while.
But it's final now.
A24's got that, yeah.
Well, who has the rights to Nightmare?
I think New Line still has Nightmare.
New Line, yeah.
Okay. So either one is going to work for me.
Okay, I mean, A24 is, for newer horror, that's like where you go is A24. Talk to Me just came out, probably one of their better projects. It fucking wow. Reek mentioned X and Pearl. Like, they can do horror. It would just be probably completely different to like the Halloweens we're used to, which might not be a bad thing.
No.
I wouldn't at all.
So, Reek, on the note that you're making, Evil Dead Rise was a New Line Cinema Renaissance Pictures presentation distributed by Warner Brothers. So,
doesn't that go in line with your creation that you got going on?
If New Line still has Freddy and New Line has Evil Dead and all things Evil Dead, here's where I'm at with it. Like, A24 is hit or miss for me. I've told you the thing that pisses me the most off about Scream 5 is that line about elevated horror. And I kind of wanted to see, like, don't get me wrong, I love her in Scream 6, but I kind of wanted to see her get killed just for that. I've always referred to, I said it, it was what it was at the time. Then 6 came out. I love her now. The core 4 is a thing. All right, Katie. But at the time she said that dumb shit, and I was like, they could have just finished you then and there, and I would have been good.
That's
I didn't fuck with Hereditary. I didn't fuck with The Witch.
No,
The Witch is awful.
I didn't fuck with Pearl, but I did enjoy X. So A24 is very hit or miss for me, depending on what's coming out. Like, I'm not into the whole elevated horror, hipsters made horror movies bullshit. Like, it's not for me. That's not what I like, especially in the Halloween franchise. Which, before we get into fantasy booking, I do want to talk about that because, Reek, didn't you say you've had some new thoughts on Halloween Ends or some new feelings about Halloween Ends that you wanted to discuss and you were saving for this episode or when you were on here?
About Ends?
Yes.
I don't think it was anything that I haven't said before, honestly. Like, it's a cross between an homage to Carpenter and Christine, basically.
I feel like I have to go back in the chat, but I swear you said that you revisited it or you rewatched it again or something like that, and you had a new perspective or a new outlook on it, and you were going to save it for when you showed up on here, and then you missed an episode or two, and that got pushed to the back. But I thought, but here's my thing. Ends was one of the horror movies that I sat down and watched this year. Like, there's a whole huge list already, and we're only 8 days in. I went back and I rewatched Ends. And here's what I will tell you about Ends. If Michael Myers was not in this movie, I probably would have enjoyed it. The idea, the story of this kid having an unfortunate situation happen to him, and then the town continually beating him down. Actually, you know what? That sounds a lot like the Joker movie, and I hated that. Maybe I wouldn't have liked it.
Yeah, I was about to say.
But the town beating him down and making him into the monster that they were claiming he was for the accident that he made, and then going on a killing spree and just embracing it and becoming that. I think I could have got behind that movie. Like, no lie. My problem is that you did it and you wrote Michael into it, and it took 45 minutes for him to get into the fucking movie, and then he didn't do shit, and then the kid beat the shit out of him in a sewer and stole his mask, only for him to die and then come back.
Well,
the movie would have been great if it wasn't a Halloween.
Right.
The only reason why I gave it the consideration to watch it a second time was because, I'm sitting up there thinking after the first time I watched it, like, damn, what was that? But I go back and I think, like, damn, we had a whole 3-movie arc of this. These were new sequels, a new timeline branch, whatever. And this is supposed to be like the end of it. It's like we can't keep rehashing the same thing that we've done a bunch of times over. And I knew something crazy was going to go down with one. It's a third movie. Every third movie always has an asterisk next to it. But also
Scream 3.
But also because they said they were going to have a theme to it because this was post-pandemic and they were going to like put something into this that was different. And it had to be different because it's like if this is the end note for because Laurie and Michael have had a finish before. It was disappointing. It wasn't what we were looking for, but they had a finish. So for this, it was like, how do you change it? How do you make it something that people have never seen before? And I think that's where they kind of just went into the toolbox for Carpenter and all of his works and said, hey, let's integrate some of these themes and stuff like that and make it a whole different thing. I don't know. I don't know what their thought process was in it, but I could see it, especially going back and looking over at Christine, like, holy shit, they basically just Michael is Christine and this kid is what's the guy's fucking whatever that kid's name is.
Yeah. Laurie and Michael have had more false finishes in a Young Bucks match, so
God damn.
That was good. That was good.
And it's true.
it's just it's not the way I wanted to end the trilogy, just because I loved Halloween 40, we'll call it, and then Halloween Kills so much. So this was not the movie that I was hoping for going into it, which I said and I knew and I saw with the Halloween 3 font and all of that and blah blah blah, and it kind of prepared me. It's not how I wanted to go out on the story. It's like I said, the story in and of it, like I'm watching it and I find myself enjoying it up until Michael shows up 45 minutes into the movie, and I remember that this is a Halloween movie, and then Corey turns Michael into a bitch and beats his ass and steals his mask, and I'm like, and I'm supposed to fuck with this as the final Halloween, that this kid who got beat up by high schoolers just whooped Michael Myers' ass, stole his mask, and walked away. Y'all talk about Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is a grown-ass man. Dude is swole as fuck and studied kung fu in that movie, all right? Maybe not traditionally under a sensei, but he watched a lot of kung fu movies and practiced shit in front of a TV. He learned how to throw a spin kick. Like, and that's what you guys were all mad about, is Busta Rhymes fucked up Michael Myers. But everyone seems to love the fact that this nerdy fucking white kid who got beat up by high schoolers went down there and just beat Michael Myers' ass and walked away with his mask. No problem.
But this is what I said too, though, because I thought it was bold on their part to actually portray a vulnerable Michael. Like, because even with Buster, like, he was just eating them some shots. Like, you could say he got fucked up, but at the end of the day, he just got caught in a fire. He wasn't really eating like none of, like, he was just, okay, you're hitting me, so what? And you just got tangled up. Like, he wasn't actually vulnerable. This was a vulnerable Michael that we've never actually seen before. So I gave kudos for that.
It is the same Michael that we watched get gangbanged the movie before and then stand up and murder an entire crowd.
That's true. But this goes back to what I've said way back before and why I prefer this version of Michael, because it's more of a, we're not seeing him as a human being, as a person, a flesh and blood. He is a force. He is a essence. He is a form, a shape, if you will.
Shape.
Exactly. So, and the best way to describe that is the way Laurie was talking about it in that scene that you were just talking about. Mm-hmm. So it's like, after a while, that force starts dying. And when he doesn't have a bunch of people that he can just run through and catch up on bodies with, and you know, when he's not feared anymore, because, you know, eventually people just started forgetting, almost like Freddy, they started forgetting about him after a while. It's like that force starts to die.
Corey did go in there and say, "You're just a man in a mask. I'm not afraid of you." Whatever.
Right.
Like, it's I'm not okay with it. It is what it is. It's just me. I'm not okay with it. I'm not good with it. I'm not gonna be good with it. The movie would be fun otherwise, but putting Michael, also, again, an entire trilogy in the Halloween franchise and not a single titty, and you had the perfect opportunity with that nurse. Like, she's slutting around with the doctor, doing her thing. She's there. She was ready. Couldn't give me just not one. You couldn't just let one pop out, like accidentally wardrobe malfunction style while Michael was fucking her up. She whooped dude's ass and got away. Michael had to go kill her because he couldn't do it, and then he beat Michael up after that. Like,
I ain't giving him a pass for no titties. That's unacceptable.
That's what I want. I don't give a fuck what you do going into make whatever story you want. Just give me titties in the story. That's all I need.
A24 will give you titties.
Maybe.
Elevated
Show me
titties. Elevated titties now.
Elevated titties.
Don't do that. Don't do that to titties. Ass is elevated titties. That's all that is.
That was the because I'm right there with you too, man. Like when they were talking about the whole elevated horror like name and whatever. Like I don't know if you saw it, but they celebrated Halloween 45 in Pasadena. They had a big Michael Myers convention, Halloween convention in Pasadena. I don't know if you guys saw that. Yeah, like I think they had the panel from the 2018 movie come out, and a bunch of them were there. So a lot of people were there, and they keep talking about this elevated horror concept for Michael Myers. I'm like, well, I mean, like, does it really need to be elevated? I mean, everyone is already scared of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much elevated are we getting? You know?
And we also talked about the fact that elevated horror is bullshit anyway, because horror, for as long as it has existed, has dealt with all of the shit that they say that elevator horror is about. Like Frankenstein, Dracula, all of this stuff, all these elements of horror have always been there. They've always been social commentary. That it's always been a thing about what's going on in society. But we're not talking about the past. And I apologize for making us do that. But I've been wanting to talk to Reek about that for a week now when I knew this was coming and I had to get it out of the way. We are to talk about the future, what we want to see. You guys already, if you haven't, go listen to the Slasherverse episodes. You know what's coming. I'll talk about it. I know where I would like it to go. So I'm going to let you guys go. What do you want? Movies? You want TV shows? What stories do you want? What do we want to see from Halloween going forward?
Go ahead, Katie.
Okay, I was like, somebody talk. A few things. I just want more Paul Rudd because Paul Rudd. Why not?
Okay.
So if we can do something with him, that'd be great. But mainly, I've seen a lot of people talking about they want another like Michael backstory and like when he's younger and all of this stuff. Fine, cool, whatever. No, I want more Jamie Lloyd stuff. Specifically, like, how did she know the thorn was coming for her? And like all of this kind of stuff. I know Reek's making faces, but like, oh well. But that's what I want. Like, that was intriguing to me. Especially
that's what we need. Is a fully thought out, played out version of the Cult of the Thorn, because you can do it. You can do it in a series. We can get more of the history than just exposition. We can see the cult. We can see the Celtics back in the day, the pagans doing the rituals. We could probably even get a view of what the thing that is technically possessing Michael looks like, maybe, and get a view of what that is. We can get all of that. Maybe, if they don't fully go into Michael, because we've done that, maybe we can do a prequel based on the Cult of the Thorn idea, where we see one of the other kids who had to successfully go through and murder everyone that he cared about, blah, 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 leading up to maybe the person that it was before Michael, getting us to the Cult of the Thorn series, and then kind of go from there. Like, there's a lot of shit you can do with mythology, and there was a mythology that after 6 movies, we just said fuck it and ignored for bullshit. For fake beheadings and reality TV and Rob Zombie.
Oh my God.
Look, I caved already. I said if there was the second they said potential TV series, I look, he was happy after I said it, but I'm like, listen, I can't even deny that you have more legs to stand on if you're going to do a TV series by going into that story because of all the things that you just said, because you got mileage to run through as far as you want to take it, even multiple seasons if it goes that far.
I am also available for the role of Dr. Loomis should anyone need a balding 36-year-old to play a young Dr. Loomis, kind of husky but a little muscular,
Huscular?
I'm free.
A dad bod type of.
Yeah,
Hey, it can work.
A young Dr. Loomis, like figuring shit out. Like I can do it.
We can petition to make that happen.
Yeah.
Just saying.
For me, it's very simple. Whatever they're doing with Child's Play, the TV series, I would like them to do in whatever Halloween TV series they end up doing, like tying in all the storylines, like the Cult of Thorn, all the stuff that they got in, and do it in a way seamlessly, like how we all want, just to make it all make sense. So if they do it that way, I'm cool with it. You know.
Now, you know what would be a great way to do that, Juss? And here's the thing, like, you don't even necessarily need to tie in the Cult of the Thorn, because with all of the different timelines and everything that's omitted, it's going to be almost impossible, because at least with Chucky, you always had Don Mancini kind of somewhere nearby
Yeah,
in a role for Chucky's to kind of guide that narrative outside of, I think, Bride of Chucky and maybe Seed of Chucky, but he also found a way to bring that back with the later stuff. But there, and I've talked about this now, best thing about Michael Myers, outside of if you're not about the mythology, is the fact that he is the shape, the boogeyman. And the thing about the boogeyman is nobody really knows what the fuck the boogeyman is.
right.
He is this thing in your closet. He is this thing under your bed. He is this eternal fear that we have, that has all these strengths and no weaknesses. It just kind of exists and you can't get rid of it. You can't do anything about it. Not even the Ghostbusters can stop it. Like, it's just there, right? So Michael being this embodiment of the boogeyman, the shape. We have two people, Michael's incest baby and his uncle, that are still alive from both H2O.
Right.
Oh, wait, I know.
Michael's,
I know you're going
Michael's
on.
incest baby's uncle is Michael's nephew.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
cousin, maybe cousin.
I know exactly where you're going with this. We talked. About this
You make that face every time, like you haven't heard me say that.
Go ahead.
It's Michael's incest baby. Like they straight up said,
we
Michael
don't
fucked his niece,
say
had a
that word.
baby.
Trust
Stop.
me, I
We-
remember
We
it
don't
all.
keep talking about it. We know.
I just want to see where you're going with this.
These two were still alive
Mm-hmm.
in the franchise. Really the only ones. And I mean, John's mom got murdered. You know, his girlfriend got fucked up at college, ruined his fucking Halloween. He was trying to get laid. He was going to have a good time. Uncle showed up, fucked everything up, went back to a mental institution, killed his mom. So John's probably got some issues. Like we saw what in H2O, we saw what Michael did in one night, according to that story, to Jamie, and how she became an alcoholic and blah, 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 blah. So John may have some of that like his mom did. And then you've got, I don't know who my father is. I've heard rumors, this and that, blah, blah, blah. He also killed my mother, who was his niece. We can get those two together to try and finally find and Michael. And that would tie H2O into the 1 through 6 series at the very least, and everything that happened there. We can reference things from Resurrection. Obviously, Rob Zombie was a whole remake, so we can't really pull that in, but we can do kind of like what they did in the original Halloween franchise, where we do homages to things from H40 from I mean, we could even end it kind of really with finding out that Michael goes into a mental institution and Dr. Sartain shows up and takes over, and just kind of leave it there at the end of the series or whatever, as a nod to H40. And take a couple things like maybe have a redneck family or some shit like that, or I don't know, some stuff from Rob Zombie in this series. But it would definitely be John and John's cousin. I'm not going to call Michael's incest baby anymore. I'm also forgetting, I'm forgetting what the fuck his name was, and it's driving me nuts. And Andrew.
From which?
It would have been from 6. It was the baby from 6.
Steven,
yes. Because I was just typing it in, and then you said, yes, Stephen Lloyd. So Stephen and John come together, mutual relationship, blood bond, deep blood bond, and go after Michael to try and end him. And I've said this before. We do it supernatural style. We put them in like a nice hot rod. They kind of have that relationship of Sam and Dean Winchester riding around. Be a great way to do it. We can bring back any surviving characters from old movies to kind of help them out, give them information. Listen.
I like where your head's at. But that would mean that you want to subject me to Josh Hartnett on my TV, and I was not about to say with it.
What the fuck do you have against Josh Hartnett?
Happening. He doesn't do it. Honestly, he dragged H2O down for me because I actually kind of like H2O, but he was just a whiny little bitch the whole movie. And then I noticed there's a theme of him being a whiny little bitch in a lot of his movies, and I can't do that. I can't do that, especially not if this is a series that you're pitching. Nah, it's not happening.
I mean, we don't have to. They recast Tommy Doyle. Josh Hartnett is one of those guys that kind of looks forever young. We could recast John.
That's fine. Then I'll work with you, but get him the fuck out of here is what I'm saying.
The disrespect to Josh Hartnett. Wow, that's fucking wild.
I mean, I'm leaning with Reek a little bit because I can't think of a movie where I really liked his acting though. I mean, the people around him were good, but him as a lead, what was that movie? Faculty.
Yeah, he was great.
Oh,
I loved him in the Faculty.
But the Faculty was just like kind of campy though, so it worked. It worked in his favor.
But he was great. Like you said, you can't think of him. He was great. The way he was going up to fucking Jean Grey, and hitting on her and shit.
Oh, dude, she was. Ooh.
The way he handled, I fuck with Josh Hartnett in the Faculty. 30 Days of Night.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He's also in Oppenheimer, and he's great.
I haven't watched Oppenheimer yet, so I can't vouch for him on that.
But what was that movie with him and Harrison Ford? There was a movie with him and Harrison Ford, and they literally were mirroring each other, and it annoyed me. I
don't know.
I forgot the name of that movie. It's neither here or there.
I will give him a pass for 30 Days a Night, though.
Oh, that movie schmacks.
But it was a good movie, so
yeah.
Hollywood Homicide, Juss?
Yeah.
Oh, the cop movie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
What was the one where like he was a scumbag and then couldn't have sex for like 40 days? Was that 40 days?
That was
nights,
40 days, 40 days or 40 nights.
Yeah.
See,
that made me laugh.
That. I was gonna say,
like
See, he did a movie called 28 Days and 30 Days, 30 Nights, and he did another movie, but called 40 Days.
Nah, the vampire movie was 30 Days.
30 Days of Night.
Yeah, and then
okay.
Because in Alaska, the sun goes down for a month.
Well, yeah, I know that part. I know that part.
Then vampires don't have to worry about the sun, so they can do crazy shit for a month. Yeah. Great, I mean, it's fantastic.
Oh, that movie's great. Yeah, Natalie loves that movie.
Solid.
Just the slander is crazy.
But isn't there also like a whole month where the sun's up the entire time and it doesn't go down? So like, where's my 40 nights of day?
Yeah, that I think that happens next. I don't know when, but that also happens.
I need 40 nights of day.
No,
Alaska's not real.
Whoa. What? Wait.
Conspiracy theory: Alaska doesn't exist, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm just gonna throw. I'm not to BTC in here, but Alaska's not real.
My
look
friend
on a map of
literally,
flat Earth. Clearly, Alaska does not fit.
Nope.
My friend taught over there for 2 years.
No,
how do you know it was Alaska?
Because you posted about it being in Alaska.
Charlene's cousin is a marine biologist, and they were just there 2 years ago.
I mean, it is a little conspicuous. Hold on. It is a little conspicuous that there is just a chunk of Canada that the U.S. randomly owns.
Listen, we're not here to talk about this. Can we just get back to
Alaska's not real? When you post this episode and you make your headlines in it, put in there Alaska's not real.
You know what? I'm gonna put that in my notes right now.
What about the alien? Y'all see an alien that they found in Mexico?
What?
You didn't see that?
that
Yeah,
picture
you
they
see that,
posted.
Oh wait, is it
Is
the
that-
meme that people are making?
Yeah, you seen that?
Oh, and yes. I have.
Some stupid shit.
Stop digging shit up.
I
Listen,
swear, I think that's just a little person.
people have never. People.
I swear.
Too many people have not seen Courage the Cowardly Dog, and it shows.
That
For
show
real.
still freaks me out.
For real.
Y'all gonna learn.
All right,
today.
so Katie wants Cult of the Thorn. Justin wants
Like a
a
like a child's
Chucky-esque
play.
TV
Yeah,
show where they
Chucky-esque,
tie
yeah.
everything in and possibly supernatural redo. Reek, what about you?
I got a couple ideas. But I'm gonna piggyback off of what Just was saying a minute ago. So there was this idea, and I think it was one of those times where Carpenter was just making a joke because he didn't want to keep coming back and making these fucking movies. But he threw out, and I think he started writing for this idea that Michael was a ghost. So if you were to put Michael in an elevated horror scenario, ask Carpenter about that idea, because I think it had something to do with a relative or whatever, and they were seeing him in nightmares and stuff like that, kind of like Jamie was, but he actually was a ghost, and he was haunting whoever this person was in his ever in that form. That I look it up, but that's an idea. If you wanted to throw it out there and you wanted to go down that road, it's there. But my big one is, and I'm probably gonna be alone on this. Whatever, I'll take it.
Do you name your big one Michael, or do you just call that Lil Reek?
No. Oh man, nah, I don't.
I assumed you named it Michael because it's what you do all your stabbing with.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
That's the real court of thorn right there. That's the real court of thorn right there.
Oh man, y'all crazy. Yeah, the name changes all the time, so I haven't.
I named mine Chucky because it may not be as big as yours, but it still puts in the work.
Now, what in the hell?
Chucky is an advocate for size not mattering, so that's on brand. That's on brand. Anyway, this might just be me, but let us give some love to Season of the Witch. I really think we should.
Wait. Now, how so? Do you want to continue the story of Season of the Witch, or do you want to do what Season of the Witch was supposed to start and just do a Halloween-based anthology series? Because again, Halloween was supposed to be just a one-off Michael Myers.
Yeah.
They forced him to come back. John Carpenter did Season of the Witch because that was the original idea. So are we talking?
Right.
You want to know what happened with Silver Shamrock, which apparently was taken over by Danhausen, or like how that carried on? Or are you talking like I want them to do a TV show based around the holiday of Halloween, different episodes or whatever, maybe an episode or two covering a new story every week or whatever?
No, I want to bridge two together. So if you remember, the whole concept with Silver Shamrock and their whole deal. So they're Celtics too. They just have, a different way for how they do their business and using that magical rock and all this other shit. So you can revisit that story, bring it into the modern day, and to go with the idea of bringing the Cult of Thorn back, bring it all together, and maybe they know of each other, maybe they work together, because what you're really doing is you're creating two issues depending on who the main characters are going to be. You got one who's trying to sell these masks to kill kids and take over the world, shit like that, and then another who plants this curse on kids in the community.
Are you trying to tell me that you want us to make a Halloween movie
Yes.
where the Silver Shamrock Corporation is the Republicans and the Cult of the Thorn are MAGA extremists? Is that what I'm hearing?
I was going with TV series.
Worshipping their leader, Michael Myers?
Hold on.
I was going with TV series, but
Is that not what they're doing in Chucky? Is that not what they're doing right in this?
Hey, he's an independent.
He was an independent, right?
So
He's
we
an
know.
independent.
So
They were
we
doing
know.
what we should have done.
So
No,
we
but
know.
it would be really like if it was, like you said, one Celtic sect or group or the remaining pagan Celtics that, you know, and then there was an extremist group that broke off and said, we're going to worship this and cult and possess someone and physically go out there. And then the other ones, they're like the business mind of the business side of it. Like, we're going to make money and we're going to take over the world through business and turning kids' brains into bugs and shit, like with our magic stone. It's more like Scientology. But
give me
anyway.
a Colonel Cochrane backstory. Because I need to know how he made these goddamn androids in the year, what was it, 78, 81, 82? Yeah, I need to know how he made fully integrated androids and all that good shit. I need to know.
Sorry, in my head now all I hear is one more day till Halloween, Halloween.
I was on 3 days, but yeah.
One more day to Halloween, Silver Shamrock.
How did you do it? How did you do it? I need to know.
It's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the week.
Very,
So
very, very nice, very nice, very nice, very,
And-
very, very nice, very evil.
And the movie's on Peacock as of now throughout the rest of the month, so you can go
Halloween
watch
3.
it and make it all worse. Yeah.
Okay.
good to know.
So we've got Reek combining and bringing Halloween 3 into the rest of the franchise, which Juss would love because that is also something he kind of mentioned. He wanted to see everything kind of come together and bridge the continuity. And it's also taking a little bit of Katie's idea, which was continuing the idea of the pagan rituals and the cult of the thorn and all of that. Again, if you guys have listened to my Slasherverse series episode, not series episode, that is out there, you are aware, and Evil Dead 2023 has kind of nicely set us up for this. That my idea is that there was either a Necronomicon or multiple versions of the Necronomicon with instructions to release specific deadites, demons, to possess people. The Kandarian demon being the major one in the Evil Dead franchise. We also saw in Jason Goes to Hell the Necronomicon Ex Mortis in the Voorhees family manor, and that Jason in that movie was defeated very much in line with what we saw from an Evil Dead movie with a dagger that looked like the Kandarian dagger but wasn't, so we need a different demon and a special dagger to defeat him. And that I believe that we can combine an entire slasher universe using the Necronomicon to explain things like the demon that the cult worshipped, the cult of the thorn worshipped, that then was possessing people and that was passing it on through them reading the Necronomicon to get us these stories. Freddy finding the Necronomicon and finding a way to keep himself alive after being murdered by families who were not upset with the way that he diddled their children, or who were upset by the way that he diddled their children and then murdered them. That was the actual story, and then they changed it because, again,
I said you don't have to say it like that.
Horror always reflects society, just sometimes they censor it. You don't need to be elevated to do it.
That's true.
So that's what I want to see. That if you want to start with Michael because he's my favorite, I would love that. That's where I want to go. That's what I want to see. Maybe an origin movie where we just learn about the Necronomicon and it ends with a little teaser getting into Michael, or in an opening season, talking about the Necronomicon, the different demons and things like that, getting to leading up to Michael, and then we can start Michael's journey from a child and really rebuild this world and the story out through multiple seasons going forward, Disney Plus style.
I was gonna say, so you want a slasher MCU?
Yes.
He does.
Okay.
That would be That episode was really fun too because
All right.
because then I found other things about the Necronomicon existing in other worlds like Ghostbusters, the cartoon, and I said it to Matt, which was pretty wild because they didn't hide the fact they didn't change the name, just said straight up Necronomicon book. I was like, whoa, this is pretty wild.
So imagine this, Reek. Imagine you get we start fresh, right? We start fresh with this idea. We wipe the slate clean, but we take everything that we have as building blocks to create these new stories. And through these new stories, in each one, you have your final girl and or guy. It's 2023. It doesn't have to be a woman, but we're all about women's empowerment. Or they. It could be a they or them. It doesn't have to be a he or she. Whoever. You have your final person.
Mm-hmm.
They then come together to find and destroy the Necronomicon as like the Avengers of all of the final people in the Avengers movie. They come together to stop the Necronomicon or whatever. Like we can get to that point where it's like this book is what's causing it and we can't stop this from happening unless we get rid of this book. This is what we need to do. And then they all band together, all of these characters that you've met in their single origin stories with their own big bads, like Michael, like Jason, like Chucky, so on and so forth, to destroy the Necronomicon. And then the Necronomicon gets the Infinity Stones.
And then we get Endgame. And then one of them has to die.
No, but in all seriousness, like that is not necessarily an Avengers Assemble sort of thing, but doing that to where we can play out through 10 episode seasons. Season 1 starts, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Rebuilding all of these stories that I grew up watching through franchises and movies and everything, and giving it enough time to fully play out and explain and do some things and do some cool and new interesting things and let us get there, because that'll give you also what some people have been asking for, which is more of Michael as a child, like what was going on in those years in the mental institution with, me playing Dr. Loomis, things like that. Maybe Dr. Loomis learning about and discovering and studying up on the Necronomicon, which is how he decides that he knows. Because that's the question: how does he know, looking into his eyes, that he's pure evil? Well, he fucking found out about the Necronomicon. He's like, okay, no, this bitch is pure evil. Like, I read the book, I spoke the words, I know what's up.
He read the good book.
I would also just like a Dr. Loomis like solo series.
I was about to just, I was
Like
just about to say that.
a 2-3 episode arc, Dr. Loomis.
No, I just want a straight up series of like Dr. Loomis, kind of like the Hannibal, but like a young Dr. Loomis before he met Michael, or even like
kind of like Obi-Wan
years
before,
in between, where like he goes on side adventures.
Have you ever heard of the comic series?
I'm aware that there are comic series, yes.
So it goes into Michael from the time that he gets institutionalized, and it follows this story all the way through. And this actually kind of now makes me really want a series, because it's like how Dr. Loomis met a woman, another doctor. I think she was working at the place too, and they were dating. They were even engaged, and there's all these stories and stuff that Michael's got going on. He meets other kids and stuff like that, and has all these weird interactions. And then all of a sudden, they start winding up dead. Like one kid gets scalded alive in the shower, and one kid is like they're doing bobbing for apples, and he gets drowned in there. And Michael's always like not nearby, but he's like, I know you did it. And like the last thing that happens, he winds up killing Loomis's fiance, because she's like on some balcony or whatever. While he's up there, he pushes her off. Again, nobody sees nothing, but it's like it just leads him further into like, oh, this kid is really fucking evil.
Right.
But he's locked up, and how is he doing this?
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. However, what I'm thinking is we follow Dr. Loomis with Michael institutionalized, like you said, right? But him studying the evil in Michael helps him then kind of go and look at and figure out Hannibal Lecter style, like I said, but more Silence of the Lambs style. Like analyzing Michael helps him solve other cases and find other killers and things like that. And we can also introduce a love interest, because one thing that we know is Michael Myers, we found this out in the 2018 movie, has a polarizing effect. If you're not expecting him to be in your life and he shows up, he will fuck you up. But people are obsessed with him. The podcasters going to Laurie's house that have to know the story, Dr. Sartain. So maybe this woman gets close to Dr. Loomis, hoping to get close to Michael. And there's something there at the end where we find out what her true motivations are. And there's a struggle and he has to kill her because she's lost her shit and is obsessed with Michael and is trying to help set him free. Or maybe she's the one, he finds out, that let him out of the mental institution at 21 years old at the beginning of technically the beginning of the Halloween movie when he escaped. She's the one that helps him escape, things like that. Maybe she could be a part of the Cult of the Thorn. But Dr. Loomis series where like he's studying Michael and Michael's like the most evil thing in the world, so it kind of helps him figure out shit about other people. And you got to have something else going on along there too. So I like that idea too, because I love me some Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We could have a little bit of Laurie Strode in there and how she's coping after life, because apparently one night in every story, no matter what it is, that one night completely fucked her up for the rest of her life.
I mean, that would be the same way.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I honestly don't know, because honestly, in the grand scheme of things, it was really only like 3 hours of her life that some dude was trying to kill her. And they stopped him. But yeah, they locked him up. He was away. He's arrested. And for the next 20 years, you're an alcoholic who freaks out every Halloween and he never shows up until he finally does. Or 40 years later, he's been locked up for 40 fucking years, and you have ruined relationships with your husband, with your daughter, with your grandchild. Also kind of still an alcoholic over 3 hours of your life.
Trauma can affect the mind in any way,
We can't just say it was 3 hours, because we got to remember she went to the Myers house, she dropped the key off, and all of a sudden she sees a person who's standing outside in front of her, looking at her all day long. So it really kind of started by the time from the time she was in school all the way on through the rest of the night. She didn't know what the deal was. She just seen some dude staring at her, even outside her window. So you got some stalking going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then her two best friends were killed, and she saw their dead bodies in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see this person who has been stalking you clearly all day long and is now trying to kill you, and you have stabbed him in the neck, you stabbed him in the chest, you watched him get shot multiple times, and there's nobody to recover. He vanished into thin air.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So there's all of that.
But I mean,
outside of those 3 hours.
In H2O, yes, because but in Halloween 40, they found Michael. They arrested him. He's been locked up. Like she knows where he is. She knows he's locked up. It was 40 years. All of that. Also, I did quick math. If Laurie was, I think I did that wrong. Laurie was 17 at the time of the attack, which means 20,805 days of your life by the time you were 58 years old. And only one of those days was a bad day. Out of 20,000 days, you held on to that motherfucker for a long time.
One bad day can ruin your entire fucking life.
They have counseling for that, though. And
that doesn't always help.
And
it can help a little.
I think with this Laurie in this particular timeline, it was more about not being able to trust anything or anyone.
Right.
Because it's like, if that can happen with some random person who she had never met before, then it's like, what else is it's like the best way to describe it was what her daughter said. Karen, what Karen said. She, being an agoraphobic, like the people who are scared to go outside because of all of the dangers and stuff that happen in the world. Like, I think that kind of just amplified that type of fear for Lori. That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, remember the house, all those like tactical, like all those things that were around the house. It was all surrounded. I mean, that's somebody who's like straight up scared. You know what I mean? Like, but I do have one idea though, because we were talking about the origin stories.
Before you go on with that idea,
okay.
Just, I'm going to
Go
ask
ahead.
you to pause for a minute
Okay.
because I need to talk about something, and I need to talk about everyone joining us at twitch.tv/creation world. I want to thank you guys for joining us at twitch.tv/creation world, where it is free to like, to subscribe, or no, it's not. I'm sorry. That is YouTube. Twitch.tv/creation world. If you have an Amazon Prime account, you have Prime Gaming. You can link your Prime Gaming to your Amazon Prime account. You get a free sub on Twitch every month. You can use that for your favorite Twitch streamers, whether it is us, which it should be, or BotchBots and Chair or anyone. Just support your favorite content creators on Switch. Throw them that free sub. Use it. You're already paying for Prime. It doesn't cost you anything extra. You can also be checking us out at youtube.com/creation world, where it is free to like, to subscribe, to comment. Katie, what does that do?
Boost the algorithm, helps find new listeners.
That is correct. And as I've said, I am a fucking whore. Please share me with your friends. This is not a monogamous relationship. I am not here for just you to enjoy. I need to be enjoyed by all of your friends, all of your family. Share me with your mom, your grandma, your daddy, all of them. They need to hear me and what I have to say. If you like me, they will too. Trust me. So do that. And while you're doing that, flick your bean up top, the notification bell. Hit that. Get notified every time we go live, Monday through Friday for the Creation Conversation. Saturdays at 11 p.m. Central for Smacking It Raw, and every other Sunday for this show that you are watching right now, Getting Off. While you're flicking your bean and sharing me with your family, you can do it multiple places like the two I just mentioned, but you can also do it at pornhub.com/model/creation world, where all of our videos that Pornhub has allowed us to put up are available, as well as 2 Pornhub exclusives that feature multiple things like The Rack and Miss Katie Kinsey Bay Bay. One features Just from the Get Show podcast. One features Will Gray from BotchBots and Chair Shots. And they both feature DP, and I'm not talking about Dr. Pepper. So go enjoy that as well. And the last way you can support us is over at patreon.com/creation world, where for $1 you get 2 amazing shows. You can listen to Travis and I cover old school wrestling. Like I said, $1 a month. You get our entire catalog of Return to Wrestling from the very first Nitro in 1995, all the way up to our latest episode coming out this month, which will be uncensored 1998. And also, on top of that, if you're like, I listen to enough wrestling, I want to listen to something else. Multiverse with Travis and Mara, where they break down and talk and discuss DC animated films, because those are the best DC films, or the cartoon films. You go check that out. Their latest one was Batman's Long Halloweeny. Go check that out. It's fantastic. It's good shit.
It is.
Listen to them. It's the same dollar. It's not a different dollar. It's not another dollar. $1 gets you both shows. We also have a slightly higher tier than that. And if you guys are checking that out, there's a tier that'll get you this show ad free. Unfortunately for you, though, this is a live show, and it's not going to be ad free because we got great sponsors that get you sex toys and energy drinks and stuff for your animals. And we need you to go use those promo codes because it also helps us out, but it's going to help you out, because who doesn't need a new dildo or a leash for their dog or energy powder to stay up and watch the show at night? Yes. One of those things I guarantee you need. We have promo codes for all of it. So here's a word from our sponsors.
Things up in the bedroom, then it's time to check out Adam and Eve. Because you see, Adam and Eve is the leading adult toy store that offers a wide range of products to help you explore your sexual desires. Whether you're looking for something to use solo or with a partner, they have everything you need to satisfy your cravings. From vibrators to lingerie, bondage gear to lubricants, AdamandEve.com has it all. And the best part, you can shop with confidence, knowing that all their products are of high quality and backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. That means whether you bought a dildo, sex swing, penis ring, vibrator, anal sex toy, bondage toy, couples toy, lube, or accessory, you can get a refund within 90 days if you're not 100% satisfied. No questions asked. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Adam and Eve is giving you 50% off almost any item on their website. That's right, 50% off. And if you act now, you'll also get free shipping. So go to adamandeve.creationworld.com and use the offer code erotica at checkout. That's erotica at adamandeve.creationworld.com for 50% off almost any item and free shipping. Don't wait. This offer won't last very long. The link is in the description. Attention dog lovers. Are you looking for high quality products to spoil your furry friend? Then you need to check out dog.com. Because you see, dog.com is the go-to online store for all your dog related needs. They offer a huge selection of dog food, treats, beds, and more. Plus, they have products for all types of dogs, from puppies to seniors and everything in between. And the best part, you can shop with confidence knowing that all their products are made with your dog's health and happiness in mind. Dog.com only stocks top-rated brands that you can trust, so you can rest easy knowing your dog is getting the best. And right now, as a special offer to our listeners, Dog.com is doing a big warehouse clearance sale. And all you have to do is go to dog.creationworld.com and you can get up to 80% off on all sorts of items like toys, treats, bones, harnesses, bowls, leashes, and anything else you can think of. So go to dog.creationworld.com and take advantage of this sale right now. Spoil your furry friend with the best products from dog.creationworld.com today. Link is in the description. Are you tired of feeling sluggish and unfocused throughout the day? Then it's time to try Dubby, the ultimate energy source. Dubby is a powerful clean energy drink that is designed to help you stay alert and focused no matter what life throws your way. Whether you're a student, a busy professional, an athlete, or especially a gamer, Dubby can give you the boost you need to take on the day or the night. It also contains important aminos and vitamins that canned energy drinks simply don't have. And the best part, Dubby is made with high quality ingredients and is completely sugar-free, maltodextrin-free, and is keto-friendly. So you can enjoy the energy boost without any of the crash, jitters, or angst that comes with traditional energy drinks. Simply mix Dubby with water and you'll have a delicious, refreshing energy drink that can help you power through your entire day. And with a variety of flavors to choose from, including Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dragonade, you're sure to find one that you love. So go to dubby.creationworld.com and order your Dubby today. And for a limited time, use code Creatia at checkout to get 10% off your order. That's Creatia at dubby.creationworld.com for 10% off. Try Dubby today and feel the difference. The link is in the description.
And we're back. Juss, you were saying that you had another idea that you want to talk about.
Yeah, so like with the Has-Been hotel that A24 is doing with animation, right? So what if they did something like like not necessarily a multiverse, but something different with the Halloween franchise, but in that same form, since Hollywood seems to be in this wave of doing artsy type stuff with their movies, Spider-Man verse, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mayhem movie, and other ones that are coming out soon. So what if they did something like that, but with Halloween, right? So what if it just kind of continues after, Halloween ends, right? This kid, who has like mommy issues from an abusive family, just stumbles upon the Michael Myers mask, right? Michael Myers mask. And let's just say the Necronomicon book together, right? The kid wears this mask to probably escape his feelings of depression, right? The Necronomicon book has all these things saying like, there's evil out there and all this stuff. So the longer he wears the mask, the more he becomes kind of evil, right? Kind of like Mask, right? Kind of like the movie Mask. But instead of being evil, he wants to be good. So then he goes out and kind of does like a slasher verse where he goes and hunts and kills all like the slashers, like Freddy, Jason, all of them, right? And let's just say, since it's Michael Myers, but instead of Michael Myers, it's Marshall Mathers.
Now,
Does he find the mask on 8 Mile?
No.
when he puts on the mask, is he B Rabbit? Like,
Are his mother's issues mom's spaghetti? Is that where the issues come in?
Whatever
he
happens
couldn't
in
stomach
this,
mom's spaghetti.
he's just gonna lose himself.
God damn it! What are you? How did we get here?
And somebody
this a
asked him,
bond-
"Why you like this? Why you like this?" He's like, "Well, I am, and everything I say, I am."
Is this a Bonnie and Clyde situation?
Oh, ooh. Well, whatever it happens, he's always going to be a renegade. So
This is outrageous.
Are we sure we know what his name is? He sounds like a role model
he is
with a guilty
but,
conscience.
with the real Michael Myers, please stand up.
God damn
Please
it!
stand up.
You okay, Reek?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? This is Halloween, not Superman. Okay, anyway.
See, I was with you until you started like veering off into the Marshall Mathers shit. Because the funny thing is that I did think about the fact that the last shot you see in Halloween Ends is that mask on the table. So
yes,
you left it open ended to say that you could always
come back.
have
Somebody
another,
can take the mask on. Yep.
Yeah, have another person. So I'm all for that. Like if you just create another, evil incarnate, and they just happen to stumble on that mask to create a new identity, whatever.
Right.
That's fine.
Or
I'm all for
or we go the Star Wars route where they just take the mask and then they have it up on a mantle and they look at it and they make their own mask. Like Kylo Ren.
Kylo Ren.
But it's like emo Michael Myers who's sad and has emotions. I'm joking. I'm not serious.
I feel like that's what Corey did anyway.
Right. They teeter-tottered on that a little bit. Yes.
Like,
unfortunately, he didn't have a Rey to save him, so he just died.
Like he was admiring. He wasn't on the pedestal. He just was watching from a distance and then said, "Okay, all right, give me this shit. I'm going to do it." Like,
I do like the D12 world that Justin created.
What?
As long as we have some really good fight music.
Dude, there'll be good ass fight music. Yeah.
I can't.
If that's a real idea, you gotta. That's a complete.
I can't deal with you guys.
Okay, that's enough.
Oh, I totally forgot one. So, and I brought this up before in the past, but the end of part 4, you saw what happened. Jamie gets in the house. She grabs a pair of scissors. She starts attacking her stepmom. Now, the concept there was that when she grabbed Michael's hand after he was laying down in wherever he got knocked down from the truck, was that he passed something along to her. Now, we hadn't gotten to part 6 and the whole Cult of Thorn and everything like that yet. But whatever it was passing to Jamie was it's enough that it was making her like Michael. Now, Danielle Harris has said she'd love to take a trip down memory lane again.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why, if you're gonna explore all options, we don't say, hey, and don't make her a Michael Myers, but create her own. I don't know, her own boogeyman, boogie woman, whatever.
Kind of like her own identity, like her own psycho identity.
Yeah, that's an option.
I could see that.
So,
I actually like that.
Halloween 4 was 10 years after the original Halloween. So if 2018 was Halloween 40, it would have been 30. Jamie was what, like 8, 10?
Yeah, like something like that.
Yeah.
So we're talking 30 years later in 2018. She'd be in about her 40s right now, which I mean isn't at all a hard thing to do. I do like that concept. I would like, something that we just pick up where we do something kind of similar to Michael, like that night, instead of like them putting her in the hospital and she's a mute and a big cookie woman,
God damn it.
um, and the terrible mask from 5, that she goes to an institution like Michael did, and eventually she gets out and she's released, and we think that she's okay, but then we find out that she's not. That it starts slowly seeping back and coming in. Maybe it's, Michael Myers is like kind of like with Scream, like how it became a thing in the town, and every year kids would like hang Ghostface shit up after blah blah blah, and then they were tearing it down. And she starts seeing that shit, and it gives her flashbacks. It gives her PTSD because, like I said, one night fucks up your entire life in this franchise all the time, and she starts doing things or acting out and doesn't realize she's doing it because she wasn't really in control of herself when she started stabbing her stepmother, or her adoptive mother. I don't think. Well, I guess that's. I don't know
that. And that's a scenario where A24 would be good with, because I'm thinking like it could work similar to how it did with Pearl, because like she's trying to be. Hold on, stay with me.
Okay.
She's trying to be normal, right? She's trying to be normal, but like little triggers happen.
Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
I don't want to go to school. Sorry.
She'll have like triggers or something like that. She'll have certain visions and things like that, and like she'll be like outside of her head for a moment, but then what she thinks is totally fine is like next minute she snaps out of it and she sees like she done stabbed somebody up, and it's like the way they do that in terms of like that mental anguish and disarray going on, like that could work to this type of story.
However, I would also be cool with it just being as simple as whatever was in Michael was passed to her when Michael died, and we pretty much do and create a new horror icon in Danielle Harris, who I don't know if you guys know this, I absolutely fucking love. Is the only celebrity I've ever met that I was not able to speak words to, which my wife still gives me shit about. And we could do exactly. I mean, listen, the idea of Halloween, literally all Michael Myers did was go into a hardware store and grab a mask and put it on, and it became iconic. We don't need that mask. She can go into a Halloween store or whatever and grab whatever the fuck she wants off the wall and put that on. And if they do the story right and they do it justice, we can create a new flasher. I hope. She wasn't Rob Zombie's films. A new slasher icon with Jamie Lloyd, played by Danielle Harris.
Yeah.
New mask, new look, new everything. And we don't have a lot of female slashers, especially in main franchise. Like we redid Pinhead as a female last year. Or 2 years ago. Was that 2 years ago? Was that last year?
Last year.
It was
last year. So we've done that. We've seen that we can do that. I know, again, the Cult of the Thorn crowd, the extreme MAGAs are not going to be happy about that. They don't like when you take males and recast them as females because they get really upset that men, have only been dominating the movie industry for the entirety of the movie industry, and it really pisses them off. And they don't follow comic books to understand that shit happens. And anyway, the point is, like, you can do that. You can make her own thing. You can let her be an icon, let her do her thing, let whatever Michael had in him be passed on to her and have it affect her. And I'm good with that. Or I'm good with, like you said, the A24 route of PTSD and dealing with trauma and eventually giving into and becoming what you were afraid of.
Yeah.
What do we want to see? Not storyline wise, just elements from a Halloween. Like, do we want to see past character? I know Katie said she needs more Paul Rudd.
Fuck yeah.
Do we want to see the return, even if it is a different character in like cameo spots? Do we want to see past people from the franchise show up and make cameo spots? Do we want to see like what we got with 2018 with the homages to other movies and kills and things like that, and little Easter eggs here or there? Like, what do we want to see in a franchise, movies or TV series going forward? What elements do we want to keep from the Halloween franchise?
I mean, cameos for sure. Like, that's always fun to see. I mean, because, like, even Scream did it, like, and has been doing it, which hopefully Matthew Lillard's next. Fingers crossed. Maybe. But fuck off. We talked about it. This is not the show. Regardless, past characters coming back, even as a brief little cameo, would be fun. Even just, like, going, like, crazy on the kills would be interesting to see. Like, maybe little less on the plot, but just like they go complete 180 and just focus mainly on the kills instead would be an interesting take, and that would probably appease some people and then piss other people off, like most things do. But I think those two things would be interesting.
I'm gonna say not simplicity, but just like little things like the film style. Like, this is what I mean. You know, that first shot in the original, that long take where it goes from the front of the house all the way through the side into the house all the way up, that long one take. Like, the 2018 did that beautifully. Those one long takes, but like the wide shot, like when Loomis is talking to Sheriff Brackett, Michael's sitting in his car right there off to the side, but if you're not paying attention to the whole shot, you miss it. He's sitting there and drives right past him. Like, little things like that. Like that film style is just like it's forgotten nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But little things like that, I gotta see shit like that again.
Okay. I like what Rick is saying too. Like, if they go back to the way that John Carpenter did it in the original, and kind of give you that element of suspense, kind of like the movie Strangers, like that type of suspense and like how they scared you in that movie, because they really went with the gore, and I don't have any problem with the gore, but if they just go back to kind of that element, I wouldn't mind. But I also wouldn't mind if they had cameos of them watching other horror movies too. Like if they just go by and there's like a bunch of like people watching, like, you know, Camp Crystal Lake, just to say, oh, you know, A24 has that, you know. If they just have like little small details like that'd be cool too.
I had an idea. I'm curious what you guys think. It just kind of popped into my head as you guys were talking. How would we feel about a found footage Halloween?
Oh, I
Yes.
don't mind.
Sign me the fuck up now. I love found footage stuff.
We could go kind of the route of maybe like a Paranormal Activity or something like that, where they bulldoze the Myers house, and in the foundation we find out that Michael documented all of his kills.
Oh my God,
he won't speak or anything like that, but somebody finds the tapes and they start watching through the tapes, and we get to relive through the eyes of Michael Myers all of the kills through the franchise. This person gets obsessed with it. We find out that wherever in the franchise we want to leave off at, that Michael isn't really dead, which is where he kind of comes back at the end. This guy kind of is documenting his whole journey of watching this in hopes to turn it and sell it to like Netflix or so, what we call slash flicks or whatever the fuck you got to do. Sell it to a streaming service. Like, I found this shit. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to document my journey. I'm going to sell it as a documentary on Michael Myers. I have all this footage. And in the end, Michael shows up and comes for him and his collection. And he is now then added to the collection of films that Michael had.
Oh my God. That's
so the concept of resurrection, but done better.
Yes and no, because I also still think that Resurrection was a great concept, and we could do a reality TV show where Michael Myers just kind of shows up, and I think it would be fun as shit, especially now with today and the way today is. The problem is that just like Resurrection, 10 years from now, technology is going to be so far advanced that none of it's going to hold up anymore, and no one's going to give a shit.
True.
But we were really on the brink of the technology that we needed to make that movie more interesting and more fun, and it was concept wise ahead of its time.
Yes, completely.
But if you think about Michael Myers through,
I do like that.
Obviously, like the first kill being his sister, because like we kind of saw that through his eyes, right? Like,
Yeah.
And that is way the fuck back when, in the 50s. And then in the late 70s. And as we're watching these, we can see the technology that Michael used to film his kills and the clarity and everything get better and better and better. Or if we don't do the stupid, they found this, somebody obsessed with Michael Myers steals all of the evidence. And in the evidence, there are cell phones with, things about Michael and his kills and him coming for people, things like that. Like we could find a way to get into there where like people were getting attacked by Michael and it was documented unknowingly by Michael that they could get into and dig into and find things out about Michael and all of that and stuff like that through, again, trying to create a documentary. Like we teased it with the podcasting, which we're doing one right now a little bit in 2018's Halloween. So that is also an interesting possibility that we go, and A24 might do that really well.
Yep,
they could. I mean, we know Michael knows how to work a tripod, so yeah,
he does.
Yeah, it's true.
He does indeed.
Which we
That's all I
learned
want now.
in Resurrection.
That's all I need now is a found.
Look at those
like
angles.
Found footage things are so good, and the fact that that could be a possibility is very interesting. Like, I don't know if anyone's seen Hell House LLC.
Yes, I've seen two of them, I think.
Yeah.
Not the newest one.
I haven't seen the newest one. I haven't seen the fourth one. But no, like how they shot the first one would be like, that's when you said found footage. That's immediately what I thought of for this. It's like found footage, but like having like, it's like interviews, but not interviews. Do you like?
So Hell House LLC is essentially these people
please.
are going to a known haunted hotel to set up a haunted house. And they're documenting their journey of setting up and doing this haunted house. And then through like opening night, as they're kind of documenting their journey of setting this up and everything, and blah, 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 all this crazy shit's happening that is being documented, including murders on opening night in parts of the house where they were having problems when they were setting up, but they like had too much money into it and they couldn't back out, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, like something like that where, somebody decides like to go into the Myers house and start documenting shit and looking at shit. And again, much like Resurrection, we find out that Michael's still fucking there, and these kids are like, we're going to document ourselves staying in the house and blah, 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 and spending maybe they turn it into a haunted house. They try to, and Michael's there and he actually starts murdering people. Found footage, like that would be cool too.
How fucking good would that be?
Imagine if one of the footages is like him making eggs. Like,
he doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. He eats animals.
Oh, that's
so it'd be like a rat in the pan, with an egg.
Not even a pan. Like he just gnaws
like
on these
him,
motherfuckers.
like him showering.
I was gonna say Michael likes his food like I like my sex, raw.
Oh,
hey, the name of the show is Smacking It Raw, Katie.
Not this show.
Not this show, but my show, and I'm talking about me.
And the name of this show is Getting Off. So
I mean,
the context within is.
I also decided that The Rack was going to be the GM of a show called No Protection.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
Under the
also
smacking
the
it raw
fact
banner.
that I was not a GM of a show, kind of disrespectful.
We can
I
have
mean,
Michael Myers.
as you have
watch-
said multiple times, you are not officially
That doesn't
part
matter.
of the show. So if you're not
We're talking
under
after.
contract,
No. We're talking after the fact.
Some,
This is not the time and place.
some
When we end
licensing
this
issues.
part, we'll go.
is there anything? And I've got your advocate here, so this is going to be great. You've got your
This-
wise man and your advocate here. This will be
I'm
fun.
fucking screwed.
Got some
Is
negotiating.
there
to
anything
do.
from the Halloween franchise we don't want to see brought back?
Oh, don't want to see it? Okay. I just want to add on to this found footage stuff.
Okay,
Like
go
imagine
ahead.
him watching Chucky and he's like scared, you know?
Dude, Justin's taking it like they took the meme of Lori looking out the window and Michael's just outside doing a bunch of like stupid shit. That's what Justin's doing. And I love it.
Justin wants to turn Halloween into scary movie.
I mean, not
Oh, no,
scary
we're not doing
movie, but kind of like enjoyable in any form. You know what I'm saying? Like I just
Comedic.
because Halloween is such a huge pop culture horror property that it's. I mean, like when you think about it, right? Like you think about all the horror movies, right? Iconically, it's supposed to be Dracula, all the Universal monsters, Frankenstein, right? Creature from the Black Lagoon. It's supposed to be those, but it's not. It's Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy, Chucky, right? And Michael Myers is at the helm. He's the lead. So I just
yes
want-
and no.
You don't think so?
Well,
I think so. a
I
little bit.
think we've had this debate, but honestly, the love of Michael Myers and the respect Michael Myers is receiving in 2023 is not the love and respect that Michael Myers has received from most of the horror community during the boom of slashers.
True.
Freddy
true.
and
True, I see
Jason
that.
were all. Michael Myers was Ric Flair, and Freddy and Jason were Hulk Hogan.
Damn, that's too close.
They probably weren't as good, but they were more popular and mainstream, and more people knew who they
Okay,
were and
okay.
liked them at the time.
That's crazy.
And they're both kind of a little racist.
A little.
No clown cops. No shitty masks. No
Yes.
token black actor / musician. No Busta Rhymes. No LL Cool J. No Trey Songz. None of
Oh
that shit.
my! Oh,
I mean, really, hold on.
No.
Listen,
no.
Hear
No.
me out. Hear me out.
Said no.
LL Cool J was the first black man to survive 2 horror movies, let
I
alone
get
one.
it.
I
I
feel
get it.
like he deserves at least a small, even if it's not like LL Cool J as the character, bringing him back as a full actor. Like, can we at least like have somebody go to an LL Cool J concert or like be watching fucking what was that
Music
show that he
video?
had? No, the show that he had, the
think about my house.
lip sync battle.
In house.
Oh,
Like,
lip
have
sync
somebody watch a
battle.
lip sync battle with him in the background hosting. Like, we have just a little homage to the first black man to survive a horror movie,
Okay.
let alone 2.
I'll accept that. I will accept
allow
that. That's fair. That's fair. No Rob Zombie involvement whatsoever.
Fair.
I think that's it. Yeah.
He had a list prepared.
If we're
I mean,
gonna
he's
do
right,
Michael
though.
Myers, if we're gonna do Michael Myers, then he needs to be the focus. I do not want another story about some other kid who eats up 45 minutes of a movie before Michael shows up. None of that bullshit. None of the Corey Cunningham bullshit in future movies. None of that. If it's gonna be Michael Myers, make it Michael Myers, not something else. Also, the Man in Black. I can do without the Man in Black.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
do without the Doctor from 5 and 6. We didn't need him. He wasn't necessary.
No more doctors that aren't named Loomis.
Just Loomis only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No Ghosts of the Dead Mother, like you said, no Rob Zombie at all, but like no Ghost of the Dead Mother on a white horse.
None of that shit. None of
I
it.
do not want to hear the term Angel Myers, period.
Oh, gosh.
Or Boo.
Or Boo.
Fucking that's some redneck white trash bullshit. It really is.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
your child Boo. The fuck?
The fuck?
Hey, Boo, pass me that biscuit.
Jesus.
Case in point.
Good
Yeah,
job,
I
guys.
don't want to see none of that.
Also,
only-
I
the only
don't know how you
thing-
feel. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing that I would accept seeing that happened in a Rob Zombie Halloween film is scene in the beginning of 2 where he took that piece of glass, and he literally hacked this motherfucker's head off.
Oh,
I would accept that anywhere because it was dope.
No new kids.
Yes.
Laurie
Yeah.
Strode does not need another fucking child.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
already got 3 that don't know about each other. I don't need a 4th.
I'll do you one
That's
better.
true.
I'll do you one better. We don't need Laurie Strode anymore.
Oh,
At least not
actually,
Jamie
yeah.
Curtis as Laurie Strode.
Yeah.
Because if we're
Okay.
going to do it and we're going to start fresh and all of that, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you could
Yeah.
go and cast new people kind of like they did with Evil Dead 2013, where it was homages. However, it's going to be really hard to do that and not have the man in the mask be Michael Myers. So, and then call it a Halloween. But, yeah, no, we've got a John, we've got a Jamie, we've got a Karen. We don't need we don't need a Kyle. Please. We're good.
Right.
No Kyles.
No Kyle Strodes.
I don't
More
really care
tattoos.
about the. I don't really care about the like. Sometimes when they go off and they have like these little like scenes with the people in the
What can I do?
town.
There we go.
There you go.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Like those bar scenes with like the people in the town all like worried. Oh, what's happening? It's like you know what the fuck's happening. It's like it happens every year. You know?
It's like, you know what
True.
the fuck's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
Anything else we don't want to see?
I don't know. I think Rick pretty got it on the point.
I mean, I prepared for that because if I wasn't so accepting of a particular concept, I would have said no cult. But I've already compromised. So
One of us. One of
One
us.
of us.
no.
Join us.
That's not how we're getting down.
Come to the dark side. We
I,
have cookies.
I
Outside. Okay, so and all you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. You know why, Reek?
What?
Because we had a discussion prior to Halloween Ends where I said, and I stand by, that the most brutal, the most violent, the most badass version of Michael Myers was Halloween 6 until Halloween Kills, right?
Yes.
However, in continuity, the same brutal, badass Michael Myers of Halloween Kills got his ass beat by Corey Cunningham. So to this day, the most brutal, the most badass, the most violent version of Michael Myers is the Michael Myers that lived at the end of Curse of Michael Myers and didn't get his ass whooped by Corey Cunningham.
That's this Michael.
See, but that's not
This
the
Michael right here.
same.
Which means I will put it is the same man. It is the same Michael. It is the same franchise.
They
It is
branched
the
off.
same timeline. No,
Well,
it didn't branch off. What do you mean it branched off? The man at the end, the Michael at the end of Halloween Kills is the same Michael in Halloween Ends. That is the end of that trilogy. That is one solid story. That is the same person. So the man that got his ass whooped by Corey Cunningham
okay.
can no longer be the badass that I held to the standard of Curse. That was the only movie that he was that badass. No longer, because that same guy went and got his ass beat a movie later. My Michael did not.
Well,
My Michael
Not
walked
my
the
Michael.
fuck away.
Your Michael
my
was a
Michael.
fucking zombie, so that's just. I
He was
mean,
Not
a
Rob Zombie.
No,
zombie
he was not a zombie. Jason is a zombie. Jason returns from the dead, and that's what requires to be a zombie. Michael has never died. until Halloween ends, which
Yeah.
So we know.
Unless.
I will put Curse of Michael Myers up against any horror icon in a one-on-one fight, and he is walking out winning. That is the final form Michael Myers, the supreme ultimate in a fight Michael Myers that I want on my team. If I was drafting a horror icon dream team and I could only pick one Michael, that's the Michael I'm picking to defend me, to guard me, to whatever. And I got the mark on my wrist to keep me safe. I know about runes and shit. I'll be all right. So I'll just let him hang around and do his thing.
And that, you know what? I lied. He's not a zombie. He's Voldemort.
Oh my god!
Michael
Everything is
Voldemort.
Harry Potter. Oh my god!
With unlimited fucking Horcruxes.
Everything is Harry Potter.
So
Said what I said.
does that make Steven the boy who lived?
It might be. It might be. You never fucking know.
Everything is Harry Potter.
Because I mean, outside of the idea that Voldemort didn't have sex with Lily, a piece of Voldemort lives inside Harry, and a piece of Michael lives inside Steven.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'll let him have that one.
I mean, Laurie Strode was the bravest, so doesn't that make her, part of the Gryffindor house?
She had the sword of Gryffindor.
I mean, maybe.
No, well, it all depends because in one scenario, Laurie Strode is Sirius Black. So,
not Dr. Loomis? You wouldn't think Dr. Loomis was?
Dr. Loomis is Dumbledore.
Okay.
Loomis is Dumbledore. However, hold on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say Laurie Strode because, like I said, in one scenario specifically, she is Sirius Black because she dies in Resurrection.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So that would be the
I like this.
in that scenario, Michael didn't kill Dr. Loomis. In no scenario has Michael actually killed Dr. Loomis.
Okay.
So Loomis can't be serious.
Well, there was a scenario technically. We don't talk about it, but it was portrayed on screen.
So
yeah,
then
what
that
was that?
They would make the cult like the Death Eaters then.
In the Bad H2.
Oh my god, Justin, you're right.
Right? Or
Listen, Reek.
You're right, Justin.
I said we don't talk about it. But
No, hold on. If we're discussing Harry Potter in the mainstream timelines, Rob Zombie is Twilight. Like that doesn't count. That's different. It's not. It's not
Crazy. What a turn of events this has turned into.
Keep that shit over there.
It's redneck Twilight.
We should have just done that the whole episode. Figure out who is who. Like that could have been the whole episode.
I mean, we got like 12 minutes.
All right, let's keep going. Let's turn this up.
Oh, I can never watch the Rob Zombie version the same now.
I literally just.
I can never watch it. Period, because shit was ass.
I mean,
The first one wasn't terrible.
The first one was not bad. The second one's just too awful. It really makes the first one suck.
I had hope for the first one, and like it made me think that, you know what, I could be okay with some reimagining, because that was the terminology is. But then we veered off so left in part 2 that it just, you lost me.
I fucked that up actually, and I apologize. If Michael Myers is Voldemort, that makes Laurie Strode Lily, and that makes Jamie Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But then Jamie died.
I mean, it doesn't have to play out exactly like Harry Potter did.
I mean, Harry Potter also technically died.
Because also there was a link between Jamie and Michael.
Yeah.
It just wasn't Parklethon.
Harry had to die to get the win. Jamie just died and died. in multiple different ways and multiple different cuts.
Disrespectful.
So does that make Corey Draco Malfoy?
Corey's not in this. We don't know.
Oh,
No.
No, Corey's not in this series. He got left off.
okay.
Listen, we don't stop shitting on Corey. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we had a mixed bag about the movie, but like, listen, in the grand scheme
I told
of
you,
things,
if it was not a Halloween movie, I would have enjoyed it. Which again is the same argument that you get from a lot of people for Halloween. If it didn't say Halloween and they weren't expecting a Michael Myers movie, they probably would have liked Halloween 3 a lot better. Season of the Witch. If it was just Season of the Witch, stood on its own, they would have liked it better. If Michael Myers was not in this movie, I probably would have really enjoyed this movie because I do find myself watching it and enjoying the arc of Corey until I remember that what this movie is supposed to fucking be and how it's going to end. And you bring Michael in, and once you bring Michael in, you make him look like a bitch. You've ruined a Halloween movie for me.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Maybe a question. Would that... So, would Corey be Neville then?
Oh, Neville.
Because Neville could have also been the boy who lived. Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, Neville could have been Harry Potter.
Yeah. He takes the mask, like he takes the sword out of the hat.
I don't.
I mean,
I don't.
Who else?
Is Laurie Strode's kids Hermione and Ron?
No, but
no.
But however, the Strode parents are definitely
The Dursleys.
The Dursleys.
Man, fuck them.
Yeah, I hate them.
Are we talking about part 6 Strode parents?
Yes.
I'm half on that because, like, obviously he's very clearly Uncle Vernon, but Petunia was a bitch too, and the mom wasn't. The mom was cool.
Petunia came around at the end though, so we could just take that part.
For
the mom
5 minutes out of the entire franchise, she had.
There are things that were
conscience.
The mom
that were cut out.
Actually, Uncle Vernon wasn't. He was bad, but the aunt, his sister, remember? Because she's the one that calls
Aunt Marge.
Yes. Oh, I hate that hoe. Oh my gosh, when she said the bitch line, I'm like, oh my god, Lord Voldemort. I just wanted to say the word, for him to show up.
Now, I will say that in part 6, the Strode mother, while not necessarily a bitch, was complicit in everything that happened because she allowed her husband to do that shit. She just sat there while he slapped her daughter right across the face and didn't do nothing about it.
I mean, the vibes I was getting, even the first time I watched it, was that that's probably a potentially domestic abuse situation across the board.
That's 100%.
Oh, yeah, 100% for sure.
So I'm sure, if nothing else, she was just scared to act.
And if we're talking part 6, then instead of Corey being Neville, it would have made the Strode, the little boy, Neville.
Okay.
Oh, Steven.
No, not Steven.
Danny.
Kara's
I forgot all about
Danny,
it. Yeah.
Danny. That's what.
And Danny's still around and still alive and heard things too, so he could join in the. He could
Danny's
be the Castiel.
The Winchesters.
Yeah, he could be the Castiel to the Winchesters.
Danny needs his own arc.
I forgot about.
So maybe A24 should just do Halloween, but Harry Potter style.
They just remake
they
Harry
go
Potter,
to
Halloween.
They go to Hogwarts, but it's like a Halloween village or whatever, and then they get training how to be all,
No, Hogwarts is the asylum.
Yep. Oh. Yep. Azkaban is the Myers house.
What's the name of the hat that chooses the houses?
The sorting hat.
Dude, that's the mask. You know what I'm saying? It talks. I'm Travis. Yeah. Like
That's outrageous.
Mm,
God, that's so funny.
that's crazy.
That's my favorite thing that's ever happened.
Damn.
I mean, I think that's how we end it.
Listen, I was also going to say, because Reek was like, yeah, but Jamie died. Like, we can't really look at it in the light of, because, I mean, if we look at it that way, all of Harry's friends get killed by Voldemort, and that doesn't happen in Harry Potter. Like, everyone dies. So, our Harry dying also, you know, it's Harry Potter, and it's a reimagining. You know what I'm saying?
It's Harry
Like,
Potter, but Voldemort's version.
Annie and Linda don't live. Harry and Ron to Laurie. If Laurie was Harry, Annie and Linda were were Hermione and Ron, and they didn't make it.
Right.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have cared because we would just be getting introduced to them.
Could you
It's like if they
imagine
would
if
have died in
Voldemort
the
showed
first
up
movie.
in the first movie and just murdered Ron and Hermione,
That would be there.
and that started Harry's whole arc of revenge?
Dude.
Damn,
I'd allow it.
wild.
Yeah. Because if I'm being totally honest, I didn't really like Hermione until like part 3, and
Okay.
like Ron to me served no purpose until like 4.
Ever.
So like,
until 7.
oh, that too. But I mean,
Basically.
like, yeah. So it's like it's more so about the length of time that you got to take them all in as characters. If you just off them first go around, then it's like, oh well, hi bye, grand opening, grand closing.
There you go.
But the Weasley
And with
family.
that,
Okay. To talk. Okay.
I gotta take a piss, Just. We gotta close this out.
Okay.
And
Let's
with
go.
that,
Yeah. Let's go.
I want to thank everyone for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any ideas about booking Halloween, what you want to see, if you liked any of our ideas, or you have any ideas of your own, feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Getting Offed, or in the comments of the YouTube video, or in the comments of the Twitch video, or in the comments of the Pornhub version of this. Wherever you want, let us know. I'll be there. I'll read them. I'll check them out. I'll interact with you. I'm sure they will as well. They are tagged in the post. Come join us. Talk to us. Let us know what you think. Unless you think we're stupid, then just keep that to your fucking self. Nobody needs to hear that shit.
Damn.
Katie, please plug yourself.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at KatieRasson13, LinkedIn about take all things Elite Showcase, twitch.tv/Elite Showcase, and youtube.com/Elite Showcase, typically Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Patreon.com/Elite Showcase. You can check out the Law and Order SVU episode that Rick was on, and TC and Vince. Matt and I will figure something out a day, I promise. Juss, I have a plan for you eventually to get on there too. Yeah, things are happening, and I'm always here. So
That is true. Justin, please plug yourself.
You can find me in the Get Your Podcast on Twitter, Get Your Podcast on Instagram. You can find me there. You can also find me on Marks and Mikes on Thursdays, 9 p.m. I also had dropped an episode of This Your Boy Just where me and Jaylan, who makes all the Getting Off theme music and a bunch of all the calf musics and stuff like that. We talked about hip hop and the music that we were both into. But yeah, guys, this was awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, the Get Your Podcast crew is on a hiatus from just doing Get Your Podcast, not from making podcasts or being on podcasts or podcasting in general. They just said, we're not going to do that show. Fuck you guys. So
that's
it'll
me.
be back in about a month.
That's me on a hiatus.
Reek,
Damn.
go ahead.
You can find me at ReekHaver24 on Instagram and on Twitter. Young Kings Wrestling with me and my guy TC at YK Wrestling on all platforms, plus at YKWrestling.com for all your merch. And I actually am bringing back the Havoc Hour. I have a topic list. I have a revamped concept, and I'm going to try to put a panel together about 3 people. This one's going to be sports. I got some stuff. I'm catching up on all my series and movies and stuff so that I can get that going again. But yeah, you can find all the previous episodes, stuff like that, on all streaming platforms, Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts. My Instagram is still up at Havoc Hour _ the Havoc Hour _. And yeah, the precursor for the show.
It is. However, when the Havoc Hour comes back, all your horror will still be here. Everything else you enjoyed, Star Wars and all the fun shit that we did, may still exist over there, but you'll be. I will still let Reek come on, give me all of his ideas so I have episodes to do because he's fantastic with it. And he'll show up for those. So we'll do that. It'll be a good time. You can join us here at Getting Off, which is on Twitter at Getting Off. Also, you can follow me at Matt Ritter at MATTRDDER on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, or TikTok, it is at Smacking It Raw. You can follow everything Creation World at It's Creation World, ITSCREATIA World, TikTok, Instagram, and X. I already plugged everything else except for the Facebook, facebook.com/Creation World. You can also watch us live there as well. For the Core Four, Miss Katie Kinsey Bay, Dr. Reek Baker BBC, and your boy Juss. I am the patron saint of podcast and the Warden Matt Ritter, and this has been your #1 horror podcast on Pornhub. Now, so what you guys don't know is, I got Katie a producer role with me since because she wanted to talk about whether or not she's part of Smacking It Raw and blah blah blah. Even though she don't want to sign contracts or officially join the federation, which we'll get into after I go to the bathroom. You guys can discuss it while I'm gone. However, I got her a producer role, so when you're actually signed in to the account, you can see what everyone's doing when I'm running ads or like when like shit's going on. Like I see all of you on the bottom of my screen. So like when I run ads, I can see everything. So like when I ran the intro, she saw all of us kind of dancing to the intro song.
All three of you were like,
of course.
She sees all of that at the same time.
We can fucking see y'all.
Whereas before I was the only one that could see that. Also, she was the only one that could see me doing the wave to the background music during the ads as it was playing, as I was going like,
I was trying to never blow my nose and I'm cracking up and I can't breathe because he's doing the fucking dance to the fucking background music.
during the ad. So
we see all.
Oh yeah, I don't mind.
Someone muted Reek.
Reek, you're muted.
It says I can't unmute guests. Their mic isn't connected.
God damn it. He always has issues.
And no, I've always been under the assumption that like it was across the board. We all saw the same thing. I didn't think anybody was seeing anything else. So I just treated it like, you know, when sitcoms go on commercial break, you know what I'm saying? I just like, whatever.
Oh no, ad breaks. You had your headphones off. You were turned around.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like a sitcom break. You know what I'm saying?
We see all.
That's crazy.
It's very entertaining.
No.
I'm just really glad Reek didn't stand up and like pull his pants down.
Listen, anything can happen during that break.
Ad breaks are
now
ad
you
breaks.
know. The more you know.
Yeah.
Hell no.
All right, Matt, go pee.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. You guys can discuss Katie's status and whether or not she's actually officially deserving of a GM spot in a Smacking It Raw Federation promotion, all that. I'll be listening, but and I'll join it when I get.
Okay, well, disrespectful.
Okay, that episode was pretty like everywhere. I liked it though.
What, the episode we just did or yesterday?
Yeah, talk about fantasy booking. No, this episode. Right. Like we went all the fantasies. You know what I'm saying? We went
basically.
Yeah,
literally.
We went Harry Potter. We went
everything is Harry Potter.
Dude, yeah. A Netflix series, slasherverse. Like, yeah,
Winchester,
we went everywhere.
Supernatural, yeah.
Yeah.
We went everywhere.
So you're not a member of the show, but you want to be a GM.
Well, I'm like on the I am not a member of the Creation World family, but
you have a Funko Pop.
I do have a Funko Pop. But officially I am not Team Creation World. I am Team Katie and Team Shelite.
So do we need to negotiate a deal?
Speaking of deals, did you tell Reek about your deal with the now unsanctioned bloodline?
You did what?
Oh, no. I didn't join anything.
No, did you? You got to go to your advocate though.
Well-
Is this the first time you heard about that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
snap.
in my defense, I may have not had my advocate. I did have the wise man here. The wise man looked over. Basically, a deal was made to me. An offer was made. I declined because I did not want to be a part of another group.
Oh, okay. I heard about that.
About that? Okay.
We talked about that before.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
because no.
I thought this like we
brand new
revisited
one?
and you actually
Oh.
said yes to.
Oh, hell no.
Also, just
Okay.
what's on the post show? Stop trying to stir shit up on the post
Oh
show.
shit! God damn! Why?
It literally said we'll be right back.
Nah, everybody forgets that shit. Though.
So here's the deal, Reek. Here's the deal. Katie, came to the wise man and her advocate, discussed her desire to strike out on her own, indie wrestler style, Cody Rhodes style, make a name for herself, do her own thing, not under any banners, just kind of do her own thing. And we supported that. We discussed that. In the back of my head, I was like, that's cool, because if you're open for indie bookings, I'll just keep signing you over here. You just keep coming over here and I ain't gonna, whatever.
We all do it.
'Cause I've already signed some wrestlers from over there. Now,
And we do the same thing. So it's cool.
at one point, and again, I am Triple H. Travis is Vince McMahon, so I still have to run things through him. I discussed with Katie if she would be interested in just making this thing official, because Vince was missing a lot of shows. There was discussions about him missing shows and his schedule not working, which is, we're still kind of in the midst of that. He's taking his month off. Originally, when we moved to Saturdays, he said he wasn't sure how Saturdays were going to work for him. He'd let me know. So it was looking like Katie was going to fairly consistently fill the unofficial official co-host role pretty much every week. And she has already declared, with no prompting of my own, that she is my co-host, and getting off is not allowed to happen unless she is here.
Oh,
I've been on every episode
that is true.
consistently.
I mean, this is how the Pornhub stuff started, too.
I reached out to Katie. I asked her if I talked to Travis and he was okay with it, if she would be interested. And she said no, she is not interested. She just wants to. I told her, I'm like, you can still do your own thing over there. You can talk, we can figure it out however you want to do it. I'm like, you come in, you'll have ads and sponsors built in and all that shit, or you just keep your own thing and you do like Vince did, because Vince still had his YouTube channel and all that, and she wants to build her own brand, and I respect that. So, however, that being the case, being a freelancer, you can't just demand positions inside of a company that you're not a part of on part-time deals.
I have to agree with him, as
I conceded to bring you in as special guest GM once a year for the slumber party.
Because you
that's the women's pay-per-view, right?
Yeah.
That is.
Fine. Then if you don't want to have me, fine, I'll just take that show then. I don't need my own show. I'll make that your best. I'll make that your best pay-per-view of the year.
I'm sure you will. I'm just saying, you're like, she's mad at me because the entire fucking Smacking It Raw fan base for 3 weeks now has been in my chat and her chat and every fucking chat. The wreck. So I make him a GM to appease the masses because they want more of the rack. Reek was in
Smart
Katie's
marketing.
chat asking for the rack.
Yeah, I know.
And
In my defense, I was drinking for obvious reasons. And I saw the interest for it, and I just jumped on the bandwagon. That's how it happened.
And then we had an entire race for the title of Pornhub Poppy. And Vince won the race. and he is officially a part, not unofficially, but officially a part of the show. It would be a slight against my co-host to name Katie GM of show 2 and not give Vince a spot on the show. So he was made, and there's only 2 shows. There's no NXT here. I couldn't think of a third clever innuendo for another show. If I thought about it, like I probably could have, but I didn't. I was like, I'm thinking main roster. I'm thinking Raw and SmackDown. I'm thinking, and that was specifically so I could do my Smash or Pass draft. Honestly, I'd probably just run it with the rack as GM, and there wouldn't be 2 shows. But to make the Smash or Pass work, I needed 2 GMs. So I put Vince there. It wasn't slighting Katie. It was none of that. It was just, this is Smacking It Raw. These are the 2 official members of Smacking It Raw. I cannot just like tell Vince, hey, I'm glad you're here. Can you be a backstage producer? Katie's going to be, you could be Adam Pearce.
That's fine.
Could be the official.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I'm Triple H and Vince is Shawn Michaels. That's just, the rack is Triple H and Vince is Shawn Michaels. That's just the way it is at this point.
Oh, man.
Are we still discussing like your pay-per-view list? Are we still doing
Yes,
that?
yes, that's
okay.
Katie mentioned she was upset that I didn't give her a GM position for one of the shows when I ran down the list. Though again, she did tell me, and I did not fight or argue or say a word. She's like, I'm going to be the one running Slumber Party. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. You do your thing. Like, the only concession I was is that Ash Nico Slumber Party is the theme song every year, just like Little Scrappy's Money in the Bank should have been the theme song every year for Money in the Bank.
That's true.
I would have no issue with that because I fucking love that song.
Sometimes I think, what about Swiss Beats Money in the Bank?
Ooh. I guess you could.
Maybe they could flip flop or something like that,
Yeah.
But if we're talking about still pay-per-views, if you want to go international, Forbidden Wet Door and move over and get some Asian talent.
I don't know if you've been on the Smack and Raw podcast or listened to the Smack and Raw
But this
podcast.
is not New Japan here. Is
this new Filipino? The new Philippines? Nude Philippines wrestling?
God
The
damn it.
liaison could be Katie. Get this deal done.
Oh, I'm the liaison. Okay.
The liaison for the international.
I'm just random
Crown
backstage
Jewel,
rules.
Asia, representative. So there you go. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
let me just play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
So you're an unofficial co-host. You do the backstage stuff. You're on every episode of Getting Off. You still do your stuff. You still have Sheely, and you have a co-host.
Also Creation Conversation quite frequently. As a guest host, not hosting the show.
So what's stopping you from just saying fuck it? I'll be part. You have a Funko Pop, so the perception is that you're a part of the show anyway.
And I know that's the perception. And when Matt first talked to me about all of this, I already had something where I had no control. Matt can't see numbers and everything like that. I can. And I still want to be able to see all of that and control all of that. Like, I've already done I was a part of something, and then I had to take control because my leader couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Travis obviously does everything, but yeah, we're still live. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
But like,
We've talked about that episode.
yeah, like
He sent flowers. He said sorry. He was sick. It happened.
yeah, but like, besides that, like, it's the one thing I can control.
Honestly, she's got the best of both worlds. She's bisexual in every way possible because she gets to be on all of our shit and do all of our shit and essentially be a part of the show, but also still gets to go and run her own shit and do her other shit over there. with all of her control under her banner, putting out the content when she wants to, all of that. So I mean, I don't knock her for it. Like I said, I made the offer. I said, if you want to, because are you okay with me having a full disclosure discussion? Obviously, it's nothing like terrible or anything. It's something that every podcaster goes through, but
yeah.
Okay. She came to her wise man and she was a little down about views and numbers and listens and things like that and was beating herself up a little bit. And we had discussions repeatedly over that and sticking to it, and it'll come. And every now and then, like I have bad episodes. We've talked about it where I feel like, oh, that episode was shit. Getting Off just had a couple where I'm just not even if I thought they were shit, they just didn't come out the way that I had hoped. It shit like that happens. I don't have to worry about the numbers, and that was kind of one of the things I'm like, if you were over here, you wouldn't have to stress about that. You just come on, you do the thing, you have a good time. You don't have to worry about any of that shit. Like those were just discussions that we had. Again, I have not ran any of this by Travis, and I'm not out here signing free agents. That is all done through Travis. I just asked her if she was interested, and if she was, I'd run it through Travis. Now I did go to Travis and say, listen, Vince is going to be off for a month. Vince has a tendency to take a month off here or there. Katie is the one that is on the show every week. She is filling in. I could use the assistance in production backstage with comments and things like that, especially for this show where I have guests that I have to manage and all of that. It's not just me and one other person, blah, 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 blah. Couldn't we give her the login to StreamYard so that she could help me out with that? Not like put her in the Slack and put her in the meetings and all that. Just let her have access to that to assist me because she is here for these shows and this and that. And I said, and if there is a week where for something crazy, if Vince isn't around and I can't do it, she has been around enough. There may at one point be an episode of Smacking It Raw hosted by Katie. And at that point, she can make the argument that she deserves to be a GM on a show. But until she's officially hosted a show when I'm not here and ran Smacking It Raw by herself, I stand firm on what I said earlier.
I really thought that was going to happen the other week when you weren't here or you showed up, but like I didn't. I had a feeling it was going to like come to that. And I was just like, oh, fuck. I was ready, but I was just like, I hope it doesn't have to happen yet.
Reek, are you still there?
He's frozen?
Oh, I didn't think he was frozen, but now I'm pretty sure. Yeah, now he is.
That's a good picture, though.
Oh.
And bye.
Yeah, he was
I don't even know how much of that he heard.
You have like the highest.
You probably heard like none of that then.
You have like the highest clearance, you know what I'm saying, that anybody could get without being an official, you know?
Yeah.
Like you got the login and everything, which is pretty dope, you know? I don't know where I was going with that. I was just like, you should be happy. You know what I'm saying? You should be happy.
Really, she is, and she really does have a sweet deal. But like I said, we talked about all that stuff, and part of that whole thing was like, well, if you were over here, there are challenges for some people who want to do more and want to be more involved, and then there are benefits, shit like that. So, but she does get the best of both worlds. So
yeah,
Hannah Montana.
And you can't be down on the numbers and all that. That's just, it happens. There's bad episodes that happen. I after we're done doing Getcho, I think every episode's almost bad. But then like I replay it, I'm like, oh, it's good, But that's just because, I have a expectation of what I think the episode should be, right? You know what I'm saying? Because you always want to do better every episode,
Which brings me back to what Justin was saying while I was taking a piss. Yes, this episode was all over, but that's the magic of these episodes when the four of us get together, and why these are my favorite episodes to do is when I said I don't like going in and me being like I say, and then you guys just kind of chip in comments here or there, and I'm breaking everything down. I don't feel like people are enjoying listening to me do that. And I haven't been doing it the way I used to do it in the Havoc Hour, where I'm breaking it down and it's kind of funny and entertaining and it's short. Like I'm giving long synopsises, and I feel like it's boring for people to listen to me talk like that much. I don't know how much fun you guys are having, but that's how I feel, which is why when we do crazy shit like this where we're all over the place, these are the most fun episodes to listen back to. These are the most fun episodes for people to get in on and laugh and joke. And it's more of a conversation than it is like a here's a fact and this happened in this movie, and then after that happened in that movie, this happened in this movie, and then
well, I think it's because
Katie, what do you think?
I think it's because
do that for now on.
Please don't. That was a lot in my ear.
Whoa,
that's what she said.
Pause.
Stop it, both of you. He said fucking Wi-Fi, shaking my head.
No, but yeah, I mean, all over the place. That's kind of like our MO. So
the four
cool.
of us just have a synergy when we get together. Like in any like when it was just me and you, was that last episode, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was good. Like we bounced off each other and like laugh and like da 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 da. And like if it's just the three of us, we have a good episode. If it's just me, you, and Reek, it's just like combinations of the four of us together. Work.
Yes and no, because I think it was the Twisted Metal episode, which I was actually really excited to do. Again, that was a lot of me. That was one of the ones where I was like, I'm talking a lot and I'm breaking down every episode, and it's too much of me. And then this happened, and this happened. It wasn't really a conversation. That's the problem that I have with this.
Well, I think that one would just be like the catalyst, a special case, especially because it was an episode-based thing.
Yeah.
Not like an entire movie or like a franchise. Like episodes, however, I think are different.
The very first episode of this, you and I broke down the entire franchise and season 1 of Chucky.
I was just gonna say, and then you guys did this. Well, not the first episode of Getting Off, but for when you guys did Friday 13th, it was the same thing. It was like you broke down.
It's kind of episode. It's kind of, but again, when I was doing that over there, I wasn't hosting, right?
Well,
so
yeah,
I'm just
right.
I was like, hey, Reek, I want to do this part where I make a funny synopsis of each movie, and then he threw it to me, and then I tried to make it as ridiculous as possible. Whereas when I'm hosting, I almost feel like I have to be, unless I'm in, and that's the thing that saved it was the rack, where I have to be kind of a little more like I want to show and showcase my knowledge of horror movies and that I actually know this shit, because like we have these conversations and you guys know, but when I'm joking around and saying stupid shit on the show and I'm not really showcasing that, sometimes it doesn't come through.
Right.
So I almost feel more serious in that aspect of doing, the Getting Off stuff, because it's still 19 episodes and it's still a new show. Like it's not like Smacking a Raw where by the time you guys came around, I had already been, I know my wrestling, and now I can just have fun, because if you want to know what I know, go back and listen to the other shit. Like it is what it is. And
I mean, some podcasts don't find their feel until episode 48.
Speaking of going off on tangents or just random, Juss and I just quoting Eminem song lyric or titles.
Oh, dude, come on! That was like an alley-oop. I knew that was gonna.
That was like TC with Aaliyah songs like
Puns,
last time I was on.
Yeah,
like it's the same shit.
So it's funny, and I'll talk more about it when we actually do it. But I was listening to Juss, this your boy Juss with Jaylan, where they were doing the hip hop stuff, right? And I was texting Juss, and I was like, yeah, I was listening to this part, and blah blah blah, and this is my top 5, and blah blah blah, this and that. And we were texting back and forth, and he's like, oh yeah, we should just get together and we should do a part 2 of this with you. And like, I would love to, but also when I listen to you and Jaylan talk, and I'm not really a hip hop head, not like you guys are. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy hip hop. I have a lot of hip hop on my phone. I listen to a lot of shit, but I am not as knowledgeable in a lot of the shit as you guys are. So I can talk my shit and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be a great conversation. And like I said, I'll get more in depth about it and how I got into it and all that when we do have that conversation. It's just, I was like, I'm listening to these guys and I'm like, Justin wants me to come on and talk. Like, some of the shit he's saying, I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Like,
that's how I
listen to
feel when we first started horror stuff. Because like I knew knowledge about some stuff, but like the first episode I did with you and Reek on the Havoc Hour, I just sat there like a deer in fucking headlights because you guys just knew so much.
But the whole goal of that was bringing you in under our wing and teaching you, young Padawan.
Okay.
And
That's
we
the
see
key.
how this is all unfolded and evolved. Whereas when me and Justin are talking and I'm telling him all this stuff, he's like, "Oh, Matt knows his shit. I want to have him on and we're going to talk shit." And it's like, I do know my shit, but I don't know my shit like you guys know your shit. Like, I probably know more about hip hop than you knew about horror movies in that first episode. But like I said, the hip hop that I love, that I grew up on, that I listened to, that the stuff that got me into it, I've never been like the guy to go back and appreciate. Like, same thing with wrestling. I never went back and watched 70s wrestling because I really liked the stuff I watched in the 90s. Like, I watched the stuff that I liked in the 90s, and then I kept up with it and kept watching the shit that I liked. I'm I'm gonna go dive and delve. Horror movies, I watch the horror movies that I enjoy, and I continue to watch the shit that I enjoy. I don't go back and watch Creature from the Black Lagoon and shit like that because I really like horror. I'm never one of those like, I need to consume everything. I just find what I like and I stick with it. And like I said, we'll get more into that when we do the episode. But that was one of my thoughts when we were talking about it. I'm like, I would love to sit down and just talk hip hop with Juss, but also I don't want to come off sounding like an idiot because I listen to you two talk and you guys know your shit. Because you guys submerge yourself into you guys are in the hip hop culture. Yeah. I'm just a guy who likes listening to hip hop. I'm not into the entire culture of hip hop and everything that's about it. I have not submerged myself into that culture. And I'm very aware of that. I'm just somebody who really likes to listen to Fabo as he rides around in his car, or Jibs, King Kong in the trunk, remix blasting real loud with the windows down, shit like that.
Right. But you, as you know, me trying to grow into a pretty good host, like the format of the episode that we would do, it wouldn't be like what me and Jalen did. It would, you know what I'm saying? It'd be kind of like, you know, like how you do it on Smacking Around. You're gonna hide the negative and accentuate the positive.
Oh, like I said, I know you and I are gonna have a good episode.
Oh yeah.
Because I know we're gonna talk our shit. It's just, I know that if you're a real hip hop head and you listen to what you guys talk about, then you listen to like we're talking Attitude Era WWE.
Yeah.
And you guys were.
It's funny because that era of like hip hop that you like, it doesn't get talked about.
I guess
it kind of gets forgotten. It kind of gets forgotten.
It's Ruthless Aggression Era WWE.
Yeah. I would say because it's like in the same timeline. You know, it's like the early 2000s to mid 2000s.
Yeah.
And that ran the mainstream market. You know, people were saying crunk, like, you know, regularly. You know what I'm saying?
Crunk
like,
juice was a thing.
Yo, dude, yeah, man.
Reek said he heard most of what you said.
Well, I mean, I guess he's assuming he heard most of it because I don't know when he cut off and how long I went after he got done.
Oh, that's also true. Touche. I'm assuming. I don't know if he's even going to attempt to come back. Bobby Touche. Get out. Get out.
But no, this was fun. This is the shit I love doing. I had an off night that I always take full blame when the show isn't up to, like Justin said, my standard. I had an off night for Final Destination. Was what it was. This is what I was hoping Final Destination was, is just us talking about the movies that we enjoyed and blah, blah, blah. And again, that was kind of where that whole me breaking down and explaining everything that happened in the movie and every kill and blah, blah, blah. And I was just having an off night. And I think that's kind of gotten in my head a little bit. So anytime I do that, I'm like, this is a shit show because the last time I did it was a shit show. I also feel bad because I love Bakley, and I had an off night with Bakley on his first night on getting off, and it was a shit show with Bakley on here, so I need to get him back because that wasn't fun for me. I hate fucking up when I have a guest on.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say fucking up in general, but yeah.
I mean, no, you that's the whole thing. You don't want to, but, you know, sometimes you try to find a way to recover.
Try.
Yeah. Like I'm not gonna say the names, but you know, Daryl always reviews every episode that I do, and so I had a couple guests on, and he was saying like, "Yo, these persons are very like sleepy." And then when he got after the 30-minute mark, he's like, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah.
So it's like, and me doing the episode, I'm kind of like, I don't know if it's like an internet thing or if it's like like if it's like a me thing, but once the 30-minute mark happened, then it was able to be salvaged, and it was a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
Have we discussed Jay's racism with him yet, or?
Listen, I don't know why Jay doesn't like you, man. I've had a full-blown conversation with Jay.
His it's funny because he's really good at doing this. He's a journalist. He's got a good voice, but he always walked into it as like a hobby, something to do with us and Daryl and
Mhm.
So when he felt like it was time for him to like, okay, so my fun is good. I'm good. Yeah. I mean, occasionally I could have him on episodes, but it's like, we would have to do something different, and it would be a thing I would like to get everybody together, to make it more special. But
Except for me, because
see, I'm trying to put every time I have him try to come back, I'm like, okay, how can I get mad at you?
How do I just sneak mad at?
text Matt and say, hey, no, but it's funny, and I think I told Justice a while ago. When I first started listening to Get Show, Jay was my favorite of the crew. Like
He's
I
a lot
thought
of
he
people's
was.
favorite.
I thought he was the funniest, and when you guys would do the sweaty sessions, like he was my favorite.
Yes.
And then Daryl became my favorite because I was interacting with Daryl. At least I
On
thought I
Twitter.
was interacting with Daryl on Twitter
Oh,
on a
you were,
regular
you were.
basis. Yeah, but also other than just Daryl, because like I didn't know who Daryl was. I thought I was talking to you, but it was Daryl. And I was like, yeah, like, because I remember when I messaged him, I was like, hey, so like we should collab, this and that. But he's like, oh, let me talk to the guys, this and that. And then I invited him to come on the show, I think thinking it was you, not knowing that it was Daryl. And he's like, oh, well, I don't really do that, blah, blah, blah. But I can ask the guys. And I'm like, well, I mean, you and I have this, like, why don't you come on first and we'll see how things go. And then we can bring the other guys in after that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't really put a face to the person that I was talking to, and he never expressly said, hey, this is Daryl from the Get Show podcast. He was just the Get Show podcast, and I just assumed because it seemed like Justin ran the show that was the person that I was talking to, so that's who I thought I was inviting on. And then after that, I kind of got ghosted by Get Show for a little bit.
Oh, come on now.
When I was like, oh, we should work together, and like, yeah, that'd be great. And then they never talked to me, and
then they said, oh, just kidding, we don't like him anymore.
then they're like, oh, we'll bring him on, but Jay's not going to be here ever.
Oh.
Because he must have read some of the shit I said to his brother and was like, fuck that guy, or something. I don't know.
Yep, that's definitely what happened.
It's funny because didn't you used to do like Facebook Live?
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember listening to an episode that you did with Smack the Raw, like a draft. And I remember it was Vince was in there, you were in there, RN, and Kyle. I forgot what draft. It was like doing like a mock draft. And the beginning of that live feed, you said somebody's talking about shit about JR. And then you said, doesn't he kind of remind you of Justin from Get Show? You guys listen to Get Show? And all of them were like, yeah. I'm like, holy shit, people listen? Because I never knew. I stayed away from the social media aspect. I didn't do Twitter. I didn't do Instagram. I didn't do anything. I was just more focused on the sweaty sessions and doing stuff in the studio and like, how can I make this funny, And then when I listened to that episode, I'm like, oh shit, people listen to us? And Daryl was like, yeah, I've been telling you that. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, because they were giving JR shit for like mispronouncing Japanese names or moves or whatever.
Yeah.
Justin was mispronouncing names all the time. Not in the same way that I mispronounce on purpose Japanese names. A different story. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, no, doesn't he kind of remind you of Justin in that aspect? But
that was crazy. That was like 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, oh fuck. People listen.
2 a.m. in the morning.
I'm trying to think. Like, I think we did. Smacking It Raw did pay-per-view reviews, like post pay-per-view live on Facebook Live for a little bit. I don't think we weren't doing every episode live. No, Smacking It Raw. Us,
Oh,
we did.
Yeah, I mean, did they do
we did.
Raws post?
I don't know if they were on Facebook Live or not.
I don't think we were.
Oh no, I knew. I mostly watched the Twitch streams when you were on, because I was off on Tuesdays. That's the reason why I was able to watch those.
Yeah.
But dude,
Back in the day.
it's crazy. It's crazy that we all met.
Yeah. It's a wild time.
Isn't it?
It is. What a world we live in.
Katie's out here balling. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay. Can we stop with this?
You know what I'm saying? Balling.
Stop buying tickets to live wrestling shows, and we'll stop fucking with you about it.
Hey.
And then so she's so rich that she's rejecting offers. You know, contemplating about. Yo,
Jesus Christ. No.
so far from breaking down on live, stream. You know what I'm saying?
I do not have a lot of money. I had money saved.
All I remember is we were talking about Katie doing all the vacations and all the shows, and she's like, "Listen, I spent all my money. I'm broke. I'm done."
Oh,
and
that
like
was
3 weeks. Then her and I had a whole other conversation that I'm not going to air out about her financials, where she just lied to my face about shit, and then like a week later, she's like, "I'm going to Collision." I'm like, "You said you had no money."
Okay,
That's here, isn't it? Is that here?
No. So like Collision will be like here, like where I am
on November 25th.
Yeah, because Survivor Series is in Chicago.
Yeah, but I thought AEW has a show.
They are. I want to say like earlier in the week they're in Chicago.
Oh,
right, Dynamite.
Maybe. I don't know. Somebody was
because they used to have that Thanksgiving week, did they? For a little bit, they used to have that Thanksgiving week. I thought.
I think so. Yeah, because I think Dynamite's in Chicago, and then Rampage and Collision is in Pittsburgh.
Okay. Cool.
And it's a smaller.
You were explaining your financials and how you magically came up with all the money for the next.
You act like I don't have a job where I get paid. I had money left from a paycheck, and I
mean, in some months you get 3 checks. So
last month I got 3 checks.
See?
She got her regular job check. She got her OnlyFans check, and then she got her
OnlyFans
podcast check. And she's like, "Oh, look at all this extra
I don't
money
make money off this fucking podcast
from selling feet pics."
Listen, I've been trying to make money off this podcast, and nothing's fucking working.
I thought you were about to be like, "Listen, I've been trying to sell feet pics, but nobody's buying."
No, I don't even like my own feet. I don't want people looking at mine. I don't even like looking at my own.
You're crazy.
No, listen. Also, Venmo still charged me twice.
Oh, damn.
After all that shit was said and done. Amazon didn't. Venmo still did. And then I disputed it, and they took the money back after they gave it back to me. Those fuckers. Because they said, like, I waited the 24 hours. They figured it out. Amazon's only went through once. The Venmo charge went through twice still. So I called. I disputed. I was like, no. This was a one-time charge. On the app, and Venmo's team even said it was a one-time charge. PNC's like, okay, well, like, we'll dispute it, and we'll send you a letter, blah, 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 blah. I got a letter, like, this week, maybe earlier in the week, I don't remember. And I opened it, and it was like, oh, well, according to our records, this was correct, so we're taking back that $45. I said, what the fuck?
Whoa.
Why even dispute it if you're still gonna take it?
Yeah.
Don't they see like charge twice on their end?
It was charged, like my PNC app showed I got charged twice. The Venmo app, which I used to do this, shows I only paid once.
So it's like so do you think it's a PNC thing? Or?
Oh, well, Pansy's trash. Like,
Okay.
they piss me the fuck off every time. It's like the audacity. But, I mean, thankfully, it wasn't, like, super expensive. It wasn't too much money. 45 isn't terrible, but
Still,
though.
though.
It's like, why the fuck?
The hassle to go through, all that.
Oh my god. Yeah, like, getting charged twice, like, threw my whole shit off, like, out of whack. Because, like, Amazon was also trying to charge me twice.
Oh my gosh.
And thankfully, they didn't.
Through PNC, too?
So, like, when I bought something on Amazon, and I used Venmo, and then, like, 2 days later, not even, I, like, check my bank statement, every once in a while, make sure how much money I have on my card.
Oh, of course.
And it showed these were all pending charges. They couldn't do anything yet. It was 2 pending Venmo charges and 2 pending Amazon charges for the same price. Like, so basically everything was like duplicated for some reason. But like, even it being pending threw all my shit out of whack.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he's clear
great.
At different times.
Yeah. So I was like, great. Awesome. Love this for me. Thankfully, Amazon, which was more expensive, did not go through twice. But Venmo, just like, it's like, I was just trying to be, like, I bought something off of my sister's friend who's like, she does alterations and stuff and like recycles clothing and stuff. So I bought something off of her, and she's also the one who's doing all of our alterations for my sister's wedding.
Oh yeah, that's coming up.
Next year, yeah, April. I got a busy April.
Yeah.
I got Mania in the first like 2 weeks, and then the last, I guess it'd be the second to last week of April, my sister's wedding.
That's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like a SummerSlam. Almost.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're in the same.
At least I don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to fly anywhere.
Yeah, I know. I'm driving to Mania, and then thankfully her wedding's like, I think the venue, because like I'll be staying either at, it's like I get a +1, and I just have to ask for someone to be a +1.
What's first, the wedding or the SummerSlam? Or I mean WrestleMania.
Mania's first. So Mania week will be there, and then I have like a 2-week break, and then wedding.
Your sister's wedding. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but like that's not too where I'm either staying at a hotel or my friend's place. Like I say it sometimes. The hotel's like 2 minutes from her house. From her house and or the hotel, the venue's like 20 minutes. So it's not bad. It's closer than here.
Yeah.
So depending on my +1, I'm staying at the hotel or I'm staying with her. So
Okay.
Yeah.
At least it's not like when you flew and then you had to spend like what 6 hours until check-in or something.
Oh my god. I'm still dealing with the effects from fucking flying so much in a short span of time. I never want to fly again at this point. I am over. I flew
Getting
so
on,
much.
Waiting for your row to be called.
Like it's the fact that I didn't have a straight shot anywhere. I had a layover every single time I got on a flight that week.
Yeah, that's what happens sometimes. Like sometimes last minute tickets. That's how it be sometimes.
I had a lot of that planned ahead of time though. Like I had tickets planned for a while.
Oh, okay. Unless you do, what's that cheap flight?
Spirit.
Is it no? Isn't there like a cheaper one? Or is Spirit is the cheaper one?
I think Spirit might be the cheaper one. There could be another one. I don't remember. I usually just do Southwest now because
of course. Come on,
I like a little bit of Hunger Games and why not?
Yeah. Southwest is great.
Because like I get a free personal item, which is always my backpack, and then I get a free carry-on.
Free carry-on.
I don't do check bags. They're gonna lose my shit. I pack enough to make it a carry-on.
Their Wi-Fi is good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know.
Seats are bad.
Seats are bad.
I always try and get a window seat if I can.
Yeah.
I like to take a little nap, put my headphones in.
Okay. See, I usually do the aisle because I just like to like look around and people and.
Oh no,
Right.
I am dead to the world.
Or
honestly.
if I
I
have
put
to
my
use the
headphones in.
bathroom.
I never have to pee or anything on
I mean,
an
if
airplane.
I have to, it's gonna be in the airport. But there was one time. There was one time where I like. I guess what's going on? Are we in the Matrix right here? Or?
I don't know what the fuck that
Okay.
is.
What?
How do I get rid of this?
The comments is it's Braille. Is somebody blind or?
I think it's a bird.
I think it's a plane.
I think it's Superman. I don't know how do you get rid of that.
I don't know that you can get rid of it. Here, I think you have to do it on Twitch.
Oh.
Oh, that's gonna be so okay. Well, that's good to know for a future.
Do we know
myself.
do we know who this individual is? Hello, how are you?
I have no idea who this is.
Hello.
I don't know.
Send us another decoder.
Oh my god! So, Justin, I don't know if I was telling you about it. I remember telling Matt that like a Steel City Con, so like a Comic Con basically, but like in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Like it's independently done and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's coming in December, and as of right now, Matthew Lillard, David Arquette, and Ned Campbell.
Wow.
I can meet them.
Wow.
That's gonna cost me a shit ton of money.
Oh, dude.
Because I have to pay for a ticket, and then I have to pay for like, if they end up doing like just like a Scream one, I might just do that one instead of individual. But if they don't, I really just need to meet Matthew Lillard.
Okay.
And then Neve Campbell second.
I know they do. I think they do bundles. I know they do bundles. I don't know if they do bundles of you get everybody or you do individual. But I know they do have bundle tickets for those, but separate from the actual ticket you buy to go, though. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like the tickets to go are cheap. I think like
they're always decent price.
Like
I think
35 or something. I think it's like 55 for all 3 days. If I really wanted to go all 3 days.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. And then it's just like,
and if you get double charged, that's not bad too. You know.
Stop. If I get double charged again, I'm gonna lose my mind. But I have to go. I've never gone to one of these. I keep telling myself I need to. I think Kurt Angle's also going to be there because, shout out.
Oh, yeah. Come on, Pittsburgh. Yeah. Oh,
Pittsburgh.
Dude, do you think they have AEW too?
MJF was at the last one. I didn't go, but they I think Britt was at one.
See, of course, you got to go.
Yeah, I don't know. They keep like releasing people, and I don't know if anybody watched Charmed, but like they have Holly Marie Combs and Rose McGowan. So Rose could also be for Scream or Charmed, but like Charmed was my favorite show growing up. So like I need to meet Holly Marie Combs.
Gosh, are we doing a getting off Charm? He just leave?
No, he just removed himself. I don't know why.
Dude, yeah.
I don't know if he meant to, because he's frozen down here.
Huh. Everybody's.
He also just. I think something happened because
did he send another one? Did the guy send another one or no?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
He did.
I don't know what that is.
I did that thing where I unplugged my phone and it was using my phone for the internet and then it froze. So I fixed that. I'll still be back.
Okay.
He did send another one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you for this.
It kind of looks like a snake.
I'm going to hurt my eyes right now.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I saying? No, I told you I want to do a This Your Boy Juss with like.
No, okay, so yeah, about that. Yes, because you had mentioned Pitch Perfect.
Yes.
So Pitch Perfect is set to come soon.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for spooky season to kind of be over with a little bit. You know. But that is one to come because
Wait, who did we need to bully to watch that? Was it Reek?
no, was it Reek or was it Kyle?
It might have been no, because I think this was after we did.
The Mean Girls one is like that's still one of my favorite ones. That
The fact that so many people were upset they weren't on.
dude, I'm like, oh, like what? Y'all mess with Mean Girls like this?
Apparently, no. I think it was Rick that we had to bully into watching Pitch Perfect.
Did it? Was
They
it?
said
Okay.
no, you'll love it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the first one, the second one was
Yeah.
good. The third one was okay.
The
The
third
third
one,
one was
they
like,
jumped the shark.
dude, like 007. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, they jumped the shark real big in that one.
No, but yes, the Your Boy Just Pitch Perfect. That's always been on the list.
I'm very excited.
But when I had to reset my brand, excuse me, when I had to reset my brand, I was like, okay, well, let me just establish like this is who is on Getcho now. This is what Getcho is now.
Mhm.
So all the other stuff, except
Yeah,
for Literal Diaries, had to take a back seat.
Yeah.
Because like at one point I was just thinking like, oh, I'll just do Literal Diaries. I don't need to do Getcho anymore. And then
I forgot that I was sitting here and I had put myself back in. Hi.
Oh, I didn't want to add you. I thought you were just gonna add yourself.
yeah, and then Benji and Vince, after I had asked them and told them what I think about or what I'm going to do, last year, they're like, "Oh yeah, man, we'll come on board."
And now here we are.
And yeah, and now here we are. So,
Also, Matt,
But-
I have an idea
I'm listening.
for our Patreon episode that we're going to do.
Okay.
I've been like toying with a few ideas, so I'm going to run them by you, and I want to hear what you think. So, obviously, we're in the spooky month. I was thinking we can do like a few different topics. One I kind of want to do is like scary stories that like we were told or we know from like our childhoods. Because like I know my uncle used to tell us ghost stories all the fucking time and scare the shit out of us. And I know your mom used to torture you.
I could tell those stories.
Those are if you want. I know
down for that. I like that idea.
the first
Well,
time I brought this up to you, you said Hocus Pocus immediately for some reason. So we could also do that.
That's
Because
good.
who doesn't love a little hocus pocus?
I was literally watching it earlier.
Zachary
before-
Binks.
Thackeray Binks.
I'm older now. You can touch me.
Stop.
Whoa.
That took such a turn that I didn't like. But those are like the two ideas I've been toying with. Thoughts, feelings, opinions.
I like I'd have to think about scary stories that I was told. I mean, no, you know what? I've got shit that we can talk about. I've got stories that I can tell. We can just do scary stories. Because like I've got stories
doing
about
our-
John going on like ghost adventure shit, even though he doesn't believe in ghosts and shit that he's seen. And I've got stories about my mom torturing me as a child and my grandmother growing up and all that shit. Not necessarily like urban legend, like spooky, but I've got stories about stuff that my family has done to scare the shit out of us as children specifically. So I like that.
Yeah, and I got some like Filipino folk stories and a scary story that happened to my dad that may or may not be true. Because I get my storytelling from him. So,
Where is my
but what was I gonna say? I forgot. Damn it! Oh,
sorry.
because do you remember the girl that was in Hocus Pocus? The one that was taking care of Zachary Binks. She was in a music video. Yeah, she was in a music video, and she was older.
That's usually what happens is
Yeah.
people grow.
Yeah, but she was fine, right?
No,
And I always just
Summer
make
is
this comment.
beautiful.
I used to make this comment. Oh, I was like, oh, I bet you Zachary Binks is coming back.
Will you relax? Okay.
Oh gosh.
So I could just switch this. Okay, Justin,
Yes. How are you?
for November, do you want to be on Patreon?
Of course. Of course.
Do you want to talk music?
Yeah, of course. We can
All
always
types of music, not just hip hop.
Listen,
Hip hop's your thing.
my catalog about music is not just hip hop. You know, Hall & Oates. Come on. Simon Garfunkel. You know what I'm saying? Rick James, Prince, Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Some parts of the disco era. I talk Phil Collins. You know
In
what
the
I'm
air
saying?
tonight? Come on now.
Dude, what? You know what I'm saying? Come
So
on.
I'm like, shooting off a fly here, shooting at the hip. I'll remind you again next month too.
Yeah, please don't
but-
be like people on Twitter. Be like,
Be like, oh yeah, I asked Justin to be on this show like 8 months
Whoa.
ago, and he was he said yeah, but like it's crazy he didn't show up. No, so I was thinking we can like create, not actually like created, but we can each create a playlist of like 20 songs we think represent us as a person,
Ooh.
and we can talk about that and why we chose the song, kind of stuff.
I think we should do that, and then we also should guess 5 songs that might be on your playlist, and you guess some of mine. I'm gonna say
Okay.
for you, Natasha Bedingfield, Unwritten.
I don't
Yes?
currently have that on a playlist.
Oh,
I do.
me too. That song bops, like the kids say.
They say it's a bop.
It's a bop. Sorry, yeah, it's a bop, dude. The rest is still unwritten.
I actually have a few Natasha Bedingfield songs.
Take another guess, Justin. I'm very curious.
A Millie by Lil Wayne.
No, I don't
Yeah,
actually.
you met him. How is that not?
I know, I met him. Listen, that's a great song. I just don't have it on my playlist. It's great. I
Demi
love that
Lovato.
song, man.
Demi Lovato, Crew for the Summer.
I do have Cool for the Summer.
I
I
do.
need to get her
Come on.
new album, like when she
recovered.
recovered all of her songs,
Yeah.
like a rock version. I gotta add all those still. I love Demi Lovato. Come on now.
Most of all Britney Spears' songs.
Do I have any Britney?
You gotta have Crazy.
Love that song.
Oh,
I don't
of course,
have
me too.
I don't
That's
I
my
don't have
go-to karaoke song. That's my go-to karaoke song.
That's your go-to karaoke song?
Yeah.
I love that for you, honestly. No, I don't have Crazy. I don't know. I really have to like. Oh, I think like the for some reason the only Britney song I have on my I have like one playlist I listen to because it's like over 700 songs. And I never know what I
Okay.
want to listen to. I think the only Britney song off the top of my head that I know I have on there is "Criminal."
Ooh, okay, that's a hidden gem.
I
That's
know,
a
right?
hidden
It's
gem. Yeah.
a great song.
Okay. Obviously,
Yeah.
NSYNC.
I think I have more Backstreet Boys than NSYNC. Ironically enough.
Dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nelly.
I do have Heart of a Champion, and what else do I have? I have Grills
Yes.
and maybe
Country
one other
Grammar.
one.
Country Grammar.
No, I don't have
Hot in here. Hot in here.
no, I don't think I have. Maybe those are the only two I have by Nelly.
Okay. So
Mm.
let me tell you guys. I create playlists on my phone, and I even put like cover art to them.
Mm.
I go deep, and
As you should.
and not saying that, Katie, you're this type of white girl, but I have a playlist. I have a playlist dedicated to drunk white girls called "Hold My Hair," where the picture is just a toilet, you know.
I literally love that.
And the first song is "Unwritten" by Natasha Bedingfield. "Call Me Maybe."
Great song.
Let me know if I'm getting if this doesn't fit. But "1,000 Miles" by Vessa Carlson.
Nope, you're on the right track.
22 by Taylor Swift. "Party in the USA."
Mhm,
34,
mhm.
35. "Let Me Go" by Haley Sanfield, who is also
I have that
part
song.
Filipino. She's part Filipino, so shout out.
I have that song.
"Overprotected" by Britney Spears. That's a a banger.
good
Dude,
one.
come on.
Yeah.
Cool for the Summer.
Mhm.
Everywhere by Michelle Brandt.
Oh, great song.
And then there's Willa Ford, I Want to Be Bad. Come on now.
I love that song.
Dude, okay, this is like the
I
Mr.
want to be bad.
Okay, Mr. Brightside by The
Oh yeah,
Killer.
you're basically just doing the.
Am I doing your playlist right now?
You're doing the songs that get white people turned playlist.
Yeah, exactly.
That's basically what it is.
But yeah. Guess a few of mine.
See, your taste
Just
is.
give me three. Name three. Should we just be recording right now, or
Should we just be recording, or? No, we're keeping Matt entertained while he's focusing on other stuff.
I'm trying to make the thumbnails for our show that we have to do tomorrow so that I have a thumbnail and a title for whatever we're going to talk about.
See, I knew you were busy.
Nice.
Fear Fest and that's a fantastic picture of Michael. Love that. Do you have? I don't know. Are you Daddy Yankee fan?
I do have a Daddy Yankee fan, but it's with Bad Bunny. But yes, I have him on there.
Okay. I mean, Bad Bunny's a given.
Obviously.
Eminem, I know, is probably a given because you just literally
come on now, of course.
talked about Eminem for 20 minutes.
Of course.
I bet Justin has some Spice Girls.
Oh, come on. What was it? What's the name of that?
Spice World?
Oh, Stop. That's the name of the song. Stop right there. Thank you very much.
Stop's a good one.
Somebody with... Yeah.
I was gonna say like hotel room service, Pitbull.
Pitbull. Oh, I do have Pitbull. It's the two with Neil.
International Love.
International. Yeah, that's on there too.
Understandable.
You got them. So 3. That was 3. Good.
Nailed it.
Yeah, that's good.
So proud of myself.
And with Katie nailing it, I think that's a perfect time to end the stream.
Yeah.
I want to thank everyone for joining us. We love you and have a good night.